Hello, everybody. Happy Monday afternoon, at least here in the United States. I guess it depends on where you're at in the world. Everybody on the other side of the world, good evening, um, or good night, even. I hope everybody's having a great day. I got a few things that I want to, talk about and stuff today, as far as, my plans with different things. And let me go ahead and post that StreamYard link here if anybody wanted to, pop up today. How's it going, S? How's it going, Ames? I hope everybody's doing well. See, we got a couple other people in the room, but they haven't made themselves known yet. So, hold on. So there's been a lot of things kind of happening here at my house as far as with my fish and stuff. I lost another African cichlid. Just was chilling, and all of a sudden, like, I turn around and I see like half of a body in there. So, how's it going, Terry? So that happened the other day. So I did like a big water change that day, and I did another like really big water change today, and kind of rearrange the rocks in the middle and stuff. So I'll show you guys that here a little bit later. And it probably won't look a whole lot different, but I did my first time doing a different sort of water change because it's so close to my front door. I was actually able to use my standard gravel vac and basically put the very end kind of wedged into the door, and I just, put the water like straight out my front door, and it was, kind of went out into like my plants that I have into on my like front porch area. Kind of like, I live on a slab, it's not like it's raised or anything, so it just went right down the concrete and then just watered all my uh I'm blanking on what the plants that I have outside are right now. um oh, they're a really nice kind of bulb plant. How's it going, Lady Diane? um it was nice to, meet you the other day when you came into the store and, talk about a little bit of stuff. I do kind of apologize that I couldn't really, like, talk a whole lot more, like, cuz I mean, I was at work, so I was trying to, do my best to make sure everybody was taken care of, cuz we were kind of, well, I wouldn't say short staffed, but we were, pretty busy at that time. Not when you first came in, but, after about like 10, 15 minutes, there was a lot of people there. So yeah, it was really nice meeting you. How's it going, John McKenzie? And I think I said hi. Yeah, I did say hi to Terry. Kimberly Holtz. How's it going? I met Kim at the ACA convention. She's a friend of uh Kenny and Danny. Um so she came down, from like the Portland area to St. Louis for the ACA. She was really cool, really nice, and strangely familiar. Like, I didn't say anything when, we were hanging out or whatever, but there's something about Kim that just, like, she just kind of looked familiar, had a very kind of familiar sort of personality or whatever. So I just kind of take that as she's like a really good person that just kind of reminds me of some friends and stuff that I've had in the past already. So it's just like easy way to connect with people, I guess. Tree 77, how's it going? How's it going? Um, so got some people rolling into the room. Let me flip my camera around here. And also, like, anybody is welcome to, hit that StreamYard link and, pop up if you want to. But I made some changes to my Fairy Forest tank here. Um, so I took the Lotus out from like in between all the crypts and stuff, and I took out the Rotala and the Ludwigia that just wasn't really growing very well, and put the dwarf Lotus there instead. It seems to be transitioning quite well, and then the hair grass is doing really good. I pulled off a couple pieces and kind of added some like right into here, so hopefully that'll kind of do well and just kind of bring a little bit more green. I kind of want like grass to kind of fill in where all the empty spaces are, so I added some like right there too. You can see this little crypt starting to pop up from the mothers over there, and I think, yep, there's another one like right here about to pop up. So they're doing good. Got some. I moved a little bit more Rotala over to this side, so it'll kind of grow up and fill in this space here, and you can see the Lotus going through. Been fighting algae like crazy with this tank, but I think I'm finally getting a hold of it. And Colonel Oberon Mustard is doing, very good. So none of the other life forms that I've put in there seem to survive though, because he's just like it's his tank. I had some Nerite snails in there for a while, and I don't know if it was just the softer water or just like the way he's constantly kind of dancing at them and stuff. But they didn't do so well. Let me kind of come around and I'll show you guys what I was talking about with my African cichlid tank. So yeah, I just kind of rearranged the rocks a little. So this area kind of has like a double cave and stuff now. Y'all can see like all the reflection into my house because my window's open. But yeah, they're all doing okay. The one that I lost was my other like German red, not this one, but the other one, the one that had like the hole in the head problem before. Like I cured the hole in the head. All of his like everything was starting to kind of grow back. He was starting to look, pretty good again, and then they all murdered him. What's up, Jason? Double cave all the way. Yeah. I mean, they've really like dug out the back and stuff. Like you can't see because it's like dug up on this side, but there's like a whole bunch of like stuff going on in the background and stuff too between the yellow lab and the Julidochromis marleri and stuff, which I don't even see the Julidochromis right now. He's hiding somewhere within the rocks. So hopefully he didn't get himself squished when I was. Oh no, you guys can't see him in there, but I can see him. He's just fine, poking his head out and stuff. So, all right. But yeah, he's looking super good after the water change and stuff. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm really sad I lost the other 6 that I got from the auction at the ACA convention, because I was gonna have a whole like breeding project between those 6 and the 6 Synodontis lucipinus that I got as well. I was gonna try and breed them in the same tank basically, but I'll just stick with the Synodontis lucipinus for now. Which, let me see if I can get these guys to come out. back in the other tank that I have them in. They seem to come out when I feed them, so I'll throw a little bit of food in the tank and see if they come out. But I have them in this tank here with the 3 baby OBs that I got left. They're growing, doing pretty good, got like spots and stuff. No idea if they're male or female, but let me grab some of these extreme nano pellets. Put the camera down for a second so I make sure it's nice and tight. I like it tight, you know. Anyway, let's throw a little bit in there. There we go. You can see one popping out back here. There he is. There's 2 of them now. Got bad glare. There we go. Hey, these guys are super cool. I've been doing a lot of research on them. There's like nobody's really like these guys are like egg scatterers, but then there's been people that have reported that they've like done the whole like cuckoo catfish thing with like caves and stuff, like getting like the Mabuna, not so much like the free water ones, like the peacocks and stuff, but I don't know. I'm just really excited to have these guys because they're really cool looking. They got such a great personality, and they're like little bitty sharks, and they won't get too excessively large either. And since they come from the African lakes, I believe Tanganyika specifically, like they'll do really good in the water that I have here in St. Louis. So yeah, the plants seem to be doing really well with at least the baby African cichlids. They seem to just leave them alone. But then again, they're getting plenty of food and all that stuff. But the lily is doing well. The hydrocotyle Japan is doing fairly well. The Star Giant Repens is doing fairly well. The Rotala Green is doing great. The Java Fern's like taking over the tank. Uh, Dwarf Sag doing pretty good, and I believe that's a Crypspiralis back there. Um, I I just kind of took a teeny. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I just caught something in the tank, and I'm really surprised. I'll show you guys here in just a second. But the other day, I had one of my female Africans from my first spawn that was actually holding some babies, and so I did my first ever like stripping, and I stripped her in this tank. But like when I stripped them, I didn't realize that all the babies actually still had a little tiny egg sac connected to them, and when I did it, it was already too late. So all of them like went down to the bottom. A few hid in the plants, but I thought they all died. But if you look up in the corner, I believe there's 3 of them up there. One's like hiding behind my little magnet scraper thing, but yep, there's at least 3 of them up there. I'm not going to move the magnet because I don't want to disturb them, but all right. That's pretty cool. I didn't think any were going to survive, and honestly, I wasn't necessarily trying to get any to survive per se, because I'm getting kind of overrun with babies. But let me show you guys the who's producing all these babies now. So it's these guys, my first spawn, and there's actually a little bit from a second spawn in there, the smaller ones. Uh, but yeah, they got a really nice like orange red shoulder, uh, kind of a blue iridescence that comes out and stuff. There's several males in here. Only the one and well, two of them are showing pretty nice, and then the sunshine male that I got from the store, he's looking pretty good. I'm eventually going to add him into my other tank with the bigger guys, but I'm trying to grow him out a little bit more. There's so many in this 55-gallon tank. Honestly, I don't do enough water changes on this tank, but these guys are doing really well. The Java Fern is kind of helping with all that. And there is a blue glow rainbow shark in here as well, kind of picking at algae and stuff, but he's kind of hidden away somewhere right now. Not quite sure. I took a piece of the Java Fern here and added it to that area. So the whole like kind of freshwater reef is it's looking really good. Even with them like destroying the trident ferns basically and just keeping them to a complete minimum. It's kind of interesting looking though with a teeny tiny little bit of green just on the rocks. It doesn't really look like Java Fern or Trident Fern or any of that. It just kind of looks like, I don't know, a weird kind of bushy thing. The the brackish tank is doing really good too. But I've seen plenty of people come into chat. Let me kind of take a second here. Let's see. John Sua, how's it going? Sandy Muppet. Hello everybody. I keep getting this cyanobacteria just growing on the rocks and growing on the substrate. And the Java Fern just doesn't really seem to do very well. But the mangroves that I got are doing pretty good. This one was starting to lean like way over towards the window, so I just took a little piece of wire and just kind of pulled it over, and it's just kind of wedged under the light there. So that'll kind of pull it over this way, and then it'll continue to kind of bend, but this one's kind of bending over too. So once it kind of gets closer to the window, I'll kind of pull this one back and stuff like that. And eventually I'll kind of get a new light or something for this tank, do kind of a lidless tank and hang a light like I did with the Beta Sorority over there. And no, because the roots are in the substrate. You can't just spin it. If I disturb those roots, then like I could lose the entire mangrove. They're very sensitive when their roots have found a spot. So this is just like kind of a temporary thing. They're doing really well with just a little bit of light coming in from the window because I don't actually open it up. I keep it with the screen like kind of mostly closed, and it's doing really well. So I'm not gonna screw it up. But yeah, they're definitely in the substrate, like especially this one. Like, look at the size of that taproot that's coming down is all the way in, and like you can see it kind of into the substrate. If this tank was on a different sort of stand, I'm sure we could look underneath the tank and we'd see some sort of cool root structure going completely to the bottom and stuff. Bumblebee gobies are doing great though. Still got just the 4 of them. Haven't really seen any sort of breeding action or whatever. Though I don't really have any like little caves necessarily, like specific spawning caves for these guys. I was hoping they'd just kind of get in there and find the little crevices within the rocks. Yeah, we can get a little bit of goby action. They're kind of asking for food and stuff too. So let me grab the nano pellets. These guys eat these guys. The extreme nano pellets and stuff too. Along with I give them bloodworms and brine shrimp and live baby brine shrimp every so often, and vinegar eels too. Let's look under. Yeah. My fish tanks, what's up? Stephen P 2003. Was up? So yeah, this tank is doing really good. The this spider plant that I'm transitioning into water is doing awesome too. I just kind of keep pulling it up as it gets like thicker on top. And as the roots kind of grow, I'll just kind of trim them off and then just let it kind of keep doing its thing. And this guy over here has the emergent growth is just getting nice and tall. I might trim it. I might not though. It's pretty cool. The tadpoles are doing really really good. It's not really coming through on camera, but they do have like teeny tiny little legs. Maybe if I get them to like come over and eat off of my finger, you can kind of see. Oh, yep, you can kind. There you go. You can kind of see the little legs now. Ha ha! Yeah, they're definitely much bigger now than they used to be. Look at those little legs. Look at them. They are just so cute. Wag his little tail. Everybody, get your Fishy Biz Aquatics towel. It's a necessity in a fish room. Everybody needs a towel. Get your Fishy Biz Aquatics towel. I'm not sponsored by Drew. I just like Drew. So yeah, this is gonna be the last live stream involving this tank as it is. Jenny, Herp Diversity. How's it going? Herp Diversity, it's funny you showed up right when I was showing my tadpoles and stuff. I hope you didn't miss them. Just rewind a second if you did. Ooh, he's all out. Look at him. He's cool. Sorry, I'm a little ADD right now and stuff. But yeah, this is going to be the last live stream with this tank as it is. Petro Man, what's up? The whole piece of wood in the middle is just like covered in blackbeard algae. I did like a 90% water change, earlier today, and added some more algifix and stuff. But I only turned the light on to show you guys, during the live stream and stuff. Like the pink crypt. I'm gonna be reusing like all the plants as much as I can. The dwarf sage over here is pretty darn covered in blackbeard algae, so I'll salvage what I can with that. Luckily, it's pretty thick in there, so I should be able to salvage a lot of it. And there's some more crypts here that I can just trim off those leaves. This big old Anubias here, I pulled off a lot of those pieces of the Blackbeard algae, but I'm not sure kind of what I'm going to do with that. If I'm going to reuse it or just like, try and do like some sort of bleach dip, or I don't know. I don't want to introduce any of the Blackbeard algae back into the tank when I rescape it. And I'm really excited to rescape this tank, but I'm also like kind of nervous about it, and like I don't know, this is one of my favorite tanks as it is, and it's really kind of sad to see it go, but I want to redo it. I got this really awesome driftwood that I want to use, and I took all the bulbitis fern off of the tree and I put it in this little cup that I've been trying to treat in darkness and get all the Blackbeard algae off of it, because I want to reuse that on my new trees and stuff when I put them in here. But I got some more dragonstone, because there's like 4 big pieces of dragonstone in there. There's 2 on each side. And then so I got like 1 more big piece of dragonstone, like 3 smaller ones, and I can always break up even smaller pieces if I want. I got some fluorite red that I'm going to add in with the Eco Complete and the little bit of white sand that's already in there, and I'm just going to mix it all up together, the old substrate and the new substrate, and make like even bigger mounds on the sides with these trees that are going to be coming out, and it's just going to be really cool. Instead of having this big massive tree in the middle, that's where there's just not a whole lot of like real swim space other than like right up at the front, the trees are going to be on the side, and so the whole middle of the tank is just going to be all this swim space for the fish to gather at, and it's just going to be really, really cool. Yeah, lots of phosphates, and so like that's what you can use Java Fern for, is to soak up those excess phosphates. But honestly, I just kind of let this tank go. I didn't do enough water changes on it. The Blackbeard algae started to grow, and I didn't like pick it off or do like a water change or anything. I was just like, whatever, screw it. Oh, I have a guest. Terry, I hope you haven't been back there for a super long time.
No, man, it's all good.
Okay.
I'm making a mess.
All right. Yeah, I made a huge mess earlier when I was doing the big water change on this tank and stuff. And the big water change on the tank, the African cichlid tank in my living room.
God.
Yeah, it'll clump off. But yeah, I'm just gonna. That's why I just want to remove this whole piece of driftwood, because that's where most of the Blackbeard algae is grown, is straight on the driftwood. The only reason I haven't just pulled it out immediately is because the pothos up here is actually attached to the driftwood, with that like piece of that magnesium there that was a plant weight or whatever. So it's pretty easy to take it off. I just haven't actually, executed it yet. So it's just, I'll just have to take it off, and then I can clip it onto the side, and I can reuse that into the next tank.
Well, once that mulm settles back down, you might see some cool fish.
Yeah. Speaking of seeing some cool fish and settling down and stuff, that's another thing is when I'm digging up this tank and catching all the fish. I know I did see at least one body out of the 6 that I originally got, but there's at most 5 coolie loaches in here as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to catch them or if I'm going to be able to see them, if they're even
Good
still
luck with
in
that.
here at all. I'll probably just rescape the tank and leave a little bit of water in there just in case, and just like hope that they survive through the change in scape or something. If I can catch them, I will. Um, but yeah, you guys will see all this happening on like an actual like edited video and stuff. So look out for that in the near future. I was kind of planning to rescape the tank, either like yesterday or today, but with the whole Blackbeard algae situation, I'm like really trying to get rid of that on most of the plants before I do everything so that I can reuse all the plants. Because there's a good amount of plants in here. I don't want them to go to waste, and I don't want to, rescape the tank and have it be like virtually empty just because I didn't want any of the Blackbeard algae in there.
Oh, that tank's a mulm factory, man.
Oh man, yeah, it is. That's with your Synodontis and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's 4 of them. There's 4 Synodontis petricola in there.
Ah, Petricola. Nice. And then, yeah, after I bring up the mounds and stuff, I do have some of this natural kind of sand. It's actually the same sand that I used in this tank here. Oh, there's another guest. The degenerate fish keeper.
Take a
Mr.
guess who that is.
Manifest.
What's going on, Danny?
What's
What's
up?
going on, Terry?
Yeah, I really like this sand. It's kind of a nice, kind of tannish, pinkish sort of natural sand.
Chunky too, or did you add those?
Well,
chunks?
those little rocks were actually
Oh, yeah, I
separate.
see it.
But it was like the same color, and so
Yeah, it looks good.
I kind of, went off of what MD Fish Keeper or MD Tanks does, and I
Yeah.
made the rocks, and then I had the sand, and then I put little accent rocks, at the edge, and it looks really good, man. I ain't gonna lie, this is definitely one of my favorite tanks.
Yeah, that
and
technique,
the crypts
man,
are
makes it look pretty
finally
good.
growing up in the back now that the all the Amazon frogbit's not blocking out all the light. He's doing really good.
Right on, yeah, it looks great.
Dude, your candy cane tetra tank looks awesome though.
Nice. I lost one of them yesterday. Found it dead.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was also like the one that was like I don't know, the one that wasn't the most colorful, palish. I think he was just being bullied. I don't know.
Yeah.
These guys can be pretty rough with each other.
They can be, yeah. I mean, tetras are tetras.
Yeah. As you can see, I got some algae problems going in there.
Can I ask Jason some questions real quick, Danny?
Sure.
I know it's your stream and all, but
that's okay.
Hey, Jason, you bought your Gratuita, those rainbow fish?
Yeah.
You bought those from Dan's Fish, right?
No, I got them from Aquatic Arts.
Oh, okay. Never mind, man.
I think Dan's Fish was out of them when I was looking for them, and they were sold out.
Because I was watching one of Stephen P's videos this morning, and he was also buying the same fish about the same time, and he said somebody had bought them under him while they were in his cart, and I was like, man, I wonder if that was Jason.
No, I did see that, but I had already gotten mine by then. Yeah, I think when I bought him, he was out. It was a toss-up. I think it was going to go between him and Aquahuna, or Aquatic Arts and Aquahuna, and I went with Aquatic Arts.
All right, I was just
Andre. Only $100. That's a lot of money.
I haven't trimmed the Rotala in this tank in quite a while, and now it's growing all the way up to the surface. There's some algae on the front again. I didn't clean it off, but All the chili raspberry are doing great. I added a couple of my blue velvet shrimp in here, including the big female that was all buried up. So hopefully she'll release all the little shrimplets in here, and it'll be nice and full of shrimp, and they'll help kind of clean up little bits of algae and stuff that are in there.
Dee.
And then I can also, when I rescape the former beta sorority into whatever name I'm gonna come up with, I can also, do a massive trim on all this and reuse Rotala from here if there's not enough in the other tank. What's up, Kevin?
I'll have you know my drill works perfectly fine, Andre.
I do have a couple little plants that I'm gonna add into there, like the Anubias variegated, and I got this Bucephalandra catagang.
Bucephalandra!
So do you get those while you're at work, Danny?
No, I actually got those. Well, this one I got from my local Petco, but this and these two right here I actually got in the auction from the ACA. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually use any of this Hemianthus calicotroidus cuba in the rescape or not, because it doesn't seem to be doing very well inside. Like, I added some in here, and some of it's staying, but I'm not sure if it's just the mollies completely chewing it up or if it's gone. But there's a whole patch of it, like, right here.
Is that the tank that you threw all the dirt in and just haven't fed?
Yeah, no, I have been feeding it a little bit now.
Okay, but that was
because the mollies have started kind of losing a little bit of weight, but they're doing really good. There you go. You guys can kind of see them. There's some algae on the glass and a terrible glare, but
3 or 4 months without food, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And just ate whatever was in the tank?
Yep, they just ate all the fungus that was growing from the substrate, algae that was on the plants that were dying, all that stuff. The Java moss that I'm transitioning into brackish is
not looking so
doing good. Okay. It's kind of brown.
Yeah, it's looking a little brown here on this camera from this angle.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna work. Probably not gonna work. The beta guy here, I'll be breeding him real soon with her right there. And there'll be a whole video series on my beta breeding. But I got a little sponge filter for this tank now, and just extended off the sponge filter that I have from this tank from the pump over there, so it just runs back behind there and into that. Oh, I have another guest.
Terry, did you build that thing, or was that?
I'm not sure if I want to add this guy to the stream.
I built it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
should I add Fishymon or not?
Actually, a couple of the legs broke. That's why it kind of looks like that.
What's up, Fishymon?
What's up, Fishymon?
Hey, Danny. Hey, Jason, Terry.
What's going on, man?
Danny, I just popped up real quick because I'm at work already. To ask you if you ever tried hydrogen peroxide on your black-beard algae.
I haven't tried hydrogen peroxide in any of my home tanks before, but I've had to use hydrogen peroxide in other tanks before, so I don't know. I feel like it can work. I've seen pretty hard water.
Okay.
I've seen Rachel O'Leary get rid of black-beard algae with hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
She actually left the plants in the tank, lowered the water, sprayed some on, but obviously not, pure hydrogen peroxide. It was diluted. And then when she refilled it, it kill the hydrogen peroxide, kill the blackbeard algae, and enabled all the shrimp or whatever to eat it, because then it was not as hard as it was when it was
Yeah.
alive.
It broke it down.
Right.
And then, they were
Yeah,
able
I
to
did
consume it.
see that video, I believe, and
Was it?
I
That was
might give
also a
that a
video
go.
that somebody like. All right, this is what I was going to say. That's why I asked you if you had hard or soft water, because I tried that whole hydrogen peroxide thing because I had a blackbeard algae issue, and I did the same thing. I drained the tank, I sprayed the plants, I even took the plants out and dipped them in hydrogen peroxide, and I didn't dilute it. And you know, filling back up the tank, it kind of made it look like it got a little bit better. Like if I would have did it again, it might have done something, but it never did jack. And I think part of that is because I had such hard water that those minerals in the water were actually soaking up half of that hydrogen peroxide. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think hydrogen peroxide will also put oxygen into your water or something, some chemical reaction.
That's really all it is.
It's an extra.
It's water with an extra oxygen molecule.
And when it breaks that chain, it oxidizes something else, right? So it's an oxidizer.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What was I going to say? And the other thing about hydrogen peroxide is you also have to be careful with it, because the moment, even before you buy it, it's losing its effectiveness. Like if it even comes in contact with any air, it starts, a chemical process starts turning it into water. Like it starts losing its extra oxygen molecule. So the longer it sits around and the more surface area you give it, that's why you want to keep the bottle on like something that's got like a small neck, so that the surface area is not like big, where because it'll oxidize on its own.
Yeah.
So if you have it for a while, it might not be as effective as, you know what I mean?
Maybe you didn't leave it on the plant long enough, Jason, for it to.
Or I might have had the peroxide too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't effective.
It actually killed the blackbeard algae.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of factors, man. That's why I don't think peroxide is a very good. I mean, it is a solution, but I don't know how good of a solution it is, because it's kind of like wizardry. You know.
Well, are you saying that Rachel O'Leary is a witch?
Well,
she might be, huh?
I'm not saying she isn't.
Yo, did you know that what's this guy's name now? He lives in Pennsylvania as well, and he breeds a bunch of plecos and
Shanna, what's up, everybody?
He breeds a bunch of plecos and corridors and stuff like that. He's the guy that coined that term, "be the fish."
Oh, Eric Bodrock.
Eric Bodrock. Does he live in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, like out in Erie, Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would so love to visit his facility. But oh my gosh.
Speaking of him, I believe Eric Bodrock is speaking at the Keystone Clash. I think I saw
that. Which day?
I don't know, Fishman.
I would love to hear him speak. That's for sure. Yeah. Anyway, I just popped in to find out, because I never used it, so I don't know anything about it. So yeah. Okay, you guys have a great day.
Hey, Fishyman, there's two people that drive Subarus, man. Old ladies and cool dudes. Guess which one you are.
Let me guess, an old lady?
No, I was going to say cool dude, man. Well, I mean, I guess that's how you feel about yourself.
Later, Fishyman.
Out of respect for Danny, I will not, carry this conversation any further. See you guys later.
See you, Fishyman.
All right.
I almost said
Dee's
Fishy Mob
in the house as well.
What's up, 503?
But yes, Eric Broderick is at the Clash.
Is he? I was
Ray
looking for that.
Aquatics, what's up?
Oh yeah, here's the schedule. I thought I saw he was speaking there. Yeah, he is speaking. Okay, cool. I was not wrong. Gary Lang is also speaking.
Nice.
I don't know who Jen Williams is, but she's speaking. Joe Vargas. Yeah, should be a good time.
Should be a great time.
Are you going?
No,
That's lame.
I
Come on,
gotta
man, it's only
save
like
up my money so I can go to Louisville next year.
Kentucky?
Yeah,
What's in Kentucky?
for the Triple Crown event. You don't know
Is that the
about
Kentucky
I thought that was
Derby?
next year.
Yeah, it's all the way until it's all the way next year.
I
But
bet you can't, Rico. That's funny. We're gonna give you a hard time about that forever.
Near Chicago, RAY, Ray. So to get to Milwaukee's not that big of a deal for me.
Dude,
yeah,
those
Jason,
like just saying those names sound like freaking ancient, like faraway lands to me.
Next year, the ACA, the ALA, the AKA, and Gary Lang's Rainbow group are all meeting at the same time at the same place.
Oh wow,
And,
are you serious?
Yes, and July 27th through 31st next year in Louisville. And if you get your $65 ticket from any of the groups, that ticket is good for all of the groups, and you can go to any of the speakers you want.
Right.
And there's going to be one massive like vendor room. So basically the ACA and all the vendors and all that stuff are going to be like on the first level, and then the second level is going to be the Killyfist Association, the Live Bear Association, and the Rainbow Group. And
so is the ACA was traditionally always held in Missouri, right?
Not necessarily traditionally. I mean, there's
Just
a
for the
big
last few
cichlid
years.
group here in St. Louis for sure, but it does, like, the convention does travel around, and it tends to be in a different place every year.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was always done that way. But yeah, that's cool.
I'll be driving Lady Diane. Louisville isn't too far away from St. Louis.
Kentucky, man, that's all. It can't be that far. Let me see.
This little tank, I'm pretty much just doing all natural light on. I got one of the convict cichlids in here. This was the tank that I had set up for the 6 Julie Chromis to quarantine in, and, well, they all died. So now he's in here to keep the tank kind of running, and I got a couple plants in here, some Anubias narrow leaf and stuff that I'll use in the rescape out there. And then I got like 3 other 10-gallon tanks. This one has the driftwood soaking in it. You can see all the nasty tannin water, but man, this is going to be some really awesome driftwood to put into that tank.
Take me 9 hours to get to Louisville.
9 hours, huh? Wow.
It's not all that bad.
I think it'll take me like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Take like 5 hours to get out of Pennsylvania, man. It takes forever to get across the state. The state is big. It's wide.
I think Rico Stan is going to find himself a new best friend in Gary Lang when he meets him in person.
No, I get where he's coming from, though, man. Like, I don't think he has anything against it, but yeah, I get. But I think it was also one of those things. It probably was just one thing Gary said at one moment in time. You know what I mean? And it just, yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I don't hold anything against anybody. People say dumb shit all the time. Oh, sorry, including me.
Oh yeah, Zen. There's hella tannins in that tank. I haven't changed the water at all, and it's super dark. There's 2 pieces of that ghost wood manzanita wood in there, and then I had there's 4. There was 4 catappa leaves in here. Now there's only 2 because I took them after they sank and added them into the my little betta tanks out there for the breeders that I got. But yeah, I was thinking about potentially, using this water for something. I'm not sure though. That's why I haven't like done anything with it. But yeah, it's super dark. Like you can't see through it. You can see the wood, but like once it gets like 2-3 inches back, like it
Yeah, you can't
disappears.
see anything. It's like gone. And that manzanita wood, is that what that is?
Yeah, manzanita wood, also called like ghost wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this piece is
I didn't
freaking
know they had that many
awesome.
tannins in it. Holy cow.
Well,
It's like
stuff.
Mopani wood, man. You ever use that stuff? That stuff was tannins for days.
Yeah, that piece is really cool. And this piece is also like really cool. And it's got like different colors on it even. It's like darker pieces and lighter pieces, so it's gonna be
Rico's too
sweet.
old for new friends, but you're never too old for new enemies, man.
You got a friend in me.
Oh my god. Whoa.
You got a
choked.
friend in me.
I was just saying, whatever he said. He's too old for new friends, never too old for new enemies.
Now I can't figure out how I got all this wood under the water.
That'll be awesome, Alshon. I'd love to see that. Is he on? Is he at the auction? I saw that there was. I didn't even look at it. I just saw the schedule. Damn it! And they had the auction on the schedule, I believe. Yeah, there we go.
There's not an auction at Aquashella, is there?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And there's an Aquashella in Chicago, which is coming up real soon, right? And then there's one at the end of the month in Dallas, or that's in October.
I have no idea.
Like 3 Aquashellas seems like a whole lot, right?
Yeah, and that's another reason why I'm soaking it so long there, Diane, is I've noticed, some film and stuff in the water and all that too. So I'm probably not going to reuse that water just because of the film and stuff that's grown in there. Though it might be good for, I don't know, shrimp or something. But yeah, I'm soaking it like crazy to make sure that 1, it's going to sink, and 2, like I don't get a crazy amount of fungus growth.
Yeah, I had the fungus on the Mopani wood, but that usually, like, I always tend to soak my Mopani wood in like a bucket now, just because of that, for like a month.
Yeah.
And even then, man, that still just produces nothing but tannins for like ever.
Right.
Mopani wood, I swear, is the hardest to get the tannins out of, because I've had what is that? What do they call that stuff? Malaysian driftwood, is that right?
The Malaysian driftwood, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
So
that.
here's the
There's Mopani, and there's
Mopani, and then there's
spiderwood,
the dogwood.
and then there's the
Spiderwood, which is really just the roots of an azalea bush. And
azaleas, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that's what spiderwood is. It's the root ball.
Yeah, roots of
mass
azaleas.
What was the one that you just said that you had in that tank?
Manzanita.
Yeah, that's actually like a desert plant from like California area, the West.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Kenny and Danny were like, "Oh, just come and collect some from our front yard." I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
I heard that grapevine stuff is not good for fish tanks, though. Like the stuff you can get in the reptile section, because you can get Mopani wood in the reptile section too, and they usually have better pieces. So check that out, aquarium people.
Yeah, no, see, Zen, I definitely thought about that too. Is taking the water out and then kind of boiling it down.
Right.
Not like completely, but
I
to
heard that grapefruit
basically
had
the
bad stuff in it, though. That's
consistency of
why.
like the black water stuff, and then I basically have manzanita wood and catappa leaf extract that I can add to other tanks. And since it was boiled, it's safe from all the bacteria and fungus and whatever else could end up in there.
I know how to stir up some moam.
Apparently.
Both literally and figuratively.
I know, that's why I said it.
I can tell by that intake thing that you were running a Whisper. What is that thing called? The bio wheel thingy.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any bio wheels on it.
Yeah.
That's a
never worked.
Marineland 350.
I stuffed it with blue foam and, or that filter pad stuff that's white on one side, blue on the other.
Speak of the devil, here comes Daniken Aquatics.
What up, fish people? Yo,
I was just talking about how I have the manzanita wood, and you guys were like, "Oh, just come collect it out of our front yard," because you guys apparently have manzanita wood all over the place up there in Portland.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm working on this job site where they're building a culvert through basically like some sort of drainage bed on a mountainside. And I swear to God, what is at the bottom of this river looks like Vallisneria, like eelgrass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I'm half tempted to collect it, but at the end of the day, I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this stuff in my fish tank?
Oh, right. I would have collected some of it, though.
I know, it's so tempting. And there is a ton of good rocks around this job site, man. Nothing but like slate or a granite, whatever. It's good. I think I posted a picture on my Discord about there's $47 million worth of aquascaping materials here.
Nice.
You sell each rock for $5. We're rich, people.
There you go, Zen. Now, I'm just going to dig up my azalea bushes and get some spider wood.
Yeah, I actually did that. I have because azaleas are one of the things you can turn into little bonsai plants. And I was doing that, and this past winter, the bonsai, I guess, I don't know, I didn't have it deep enough in the soil, so it froze and died. So I pulled it out and threw it in a bucket. It's going to become some driftwood.
You can get lava rock too. That's awesome because lava rock is like some of my favorite.
Is it the red or the black?
You probably can get like the brown lava rock.
I was gonna say, is it I don't even know how, what the difference. I mean, is that stuff just dyed? I don't even know how they make that. Or
it's just a different chemical makeup, basically. Like it's all basically like dried up lava, but depending on what the lava and the metallic makeup and everything that was involved through it, you're gonna get a different color.
All the impurities or whatever in it. Yeah, exactly. So I know Hawaii's got the black stuff, right? Super cool.
He gets
lava
the black
rock,
lava
black.
rock. Nice.
That's awesome.
I wonder if you could go around Mount St. Helens and just collect a bunch of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
I don't know how much it would be like. Was there actually a volcanic flow there? I don't think there was. I think it was just
just a bunch of
blue.
ash.
Yeah, just what do they call it? Like a pyroclasm, right? Just shot material off the side of basically just blew up, let off a whole big puff. And I think it would be more like volcanic glass, which showered everywhere. What do they call that stuff? Obsidian? I don't know. That's just a guess.
Obsidian is volcanic glass, yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on, Daniken? Sorry to hear about your one tank. That sucks.
Yeah, man. That totally sucks.
Yeah, that really does. Do you find out what happened? How that happened? What caused it? You think it was just the crash, cycle crash? Yeah, that black sand's from all the volcanic rock being worn away from the ocean, isn't it? Dragon glass. You can kill the White Walkers. Yeah. What a plot hook that was.
Yeah, the
Dude, don't talk
black
to me.
sand
I get
beaches
so
of
upset about
Hawaii
this.
are awesome. There was a crash, huh? Did it happen
Mostly
like
mud.
after
Yeah.
a water change or what? Like, did you forget to dechlorinate the water or something?
Well, all right. Like, all right, in my mind, the only way I can think of a cycle as crashing is because you're running, I'm guessing, American cichlids, and your pH is already kind of below 7, so you don't have a whole lot of buffering in your water to begin with, and at some point the pH might run away, and that would kill your beneficial bacteria if it gets too low, and that would cause the crash.
Oh yeah, I guess that's possible. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I just ran that scenario through my mind. It sounds logical. I don't know.
I don't know.
I need more catfish in that tank.
Those are the Synodontis, Lucipinus.
There's Synodontis in there. There's
Oh, the heat.
the
Okay,
Asian
yeah.
bumblebee cat. That's
Jesus.
one right there. And the Pictus, Pimlautus pictus.
So it got up over 120 degrees, and that killed the fish, or that killed the bacteria, and then that killed the fish, or both.
Well, the excess heat will drain the oxygen in the tank, which will then kill the
Pretty much kill
beneficial
everything.
bacteria
and
and kill
fish.
everything. But
Yeah, that's true. Dust baths.
I think I'm going to permanently keep a mechanical filter on this tank.
Big City Bettas.
Oh, you just added
What's
that
up?
Okay, you can make the snow globe a little smaller now.
Thanks for checking out my videos earlier and leaving me a few comments. Big City Bettas.
Big city bettas, woo, woo.
Hopefully by tomorrow that tank looks better.
Tomorrow. Jeez.
See, I took out a whole bunch of branches of the cattails and like thinned it out. And so now there's like more space for all the lilies, and you can see a little flower. It's bloomed a couple times, and so is the one over there. That one's pink, and this one's like a more like dark red kind of pink.
Oh, that's like the. That looks pretty small. Is that part of a system?
What? Oh, all this?
Yeah. Or am I just?
There's like 3 different water lily types all kind of mixed in, but there's like several different like plants now.
I gotcha. I see it now. When you first looked at it, it looked like it was like the size of your hand. I'm like, what is this little hole?
Oh yes. Here's my little pond. Look at it. It's just so tiny. Let me just pick up
exactly.
this.
I was like, dude, you got a little hole in the ground with some rocks around it. Nice.
Yeah. No, that's my bucket of tadpoles right here. All the little guys in there still. And then this kiddie pool has now been taken over by frogbit. And I mean, taken over. Like, look at some of this stuff. Like, this one's actually growing vertical now. This one's got like a pad that's like bigger than $50.
That's funny.
Anybody wants some frogbit, like, hit me up.
Heck yeah, man. You got any fish in that, or is it just
No, there's no fish in there. Just like rotting leaves and all that stuff.
That seemed to be like a good place to throw a bunch of bettas for the summer, man. You know what I mean?
I think well, maybe it's a little shallow, but I've been thinking
It's
about
not
that
where
for
they live,
next
shallow.
year, cause Big City Bettas was telling me that, like, bettas actually do pretty well outside for the most part if they have the right sort of conditions, and it would be kind of a great way to potentially breed those crown tails, like, next year even, like, and have a whole bunch of babies in here.
Yeah, take the babies from one of your breed from the parents and throw them in that next year.
Yeah. Baits and genetics. What's up? Yeah, this little tub is doing great. The frog bit actually has a reddish coloration, and it's not because it's dying or anything. Like, it's healthy and it's got thick roots and stuff. Like,
I see
it's
fish
just
in
because
there.
of the bright light in the sun. And yeah, there's 4 golden white clouds in here, which are kind of making their appearance known now that I've been messing with the water. And there's also, I believe there's still a Florida flagfish in here somewhere.
Nice.
I haven't really seen it pop out, but it's kind of more
It's more of
camouflaged than
a
these
lurker.
golden white clouds are.
Yeah, the white clouds are like searching for food, whereas the flagfish is lurking
Yeah.
for his food.
Garden's doing great. I need to come out and pick more tomatoes. Because there's a whole bunch of ripe tomatoes.
Nice.
And the herb, like, look at this. The African blue basil is just like super huge now. I could like stand in the middle of it. I can literally stand in the middle of it.
Well, get on it, man. You got to cook something with basil.
Yeah, well, this one's all right to cook with. The leaves are a little bit tougher, and this one kind of has a like, it smells like bologna. Like, that standard like beef bologna that you buy from the grocery store that has the red, like, weird plastic lid thing. Like, that's exactly what it smells like.
Okay.
It's strange. Like,
That is very strange. And that's basil?
yeah, it's an African blue basil.
I don't
And
know if I
then,
grow that basil anymore. If it smells like bologna. Oh, that looks spicy.
yeah, that's the Trinidad scorpion. It's almost ready to go. Still got some green, though.
I got some habaneros there. Like, I mean, they're bigger than ping pong balls.
Nice.
Like 4
Did
of
you
them
ever
ripe.
plant the seeds that Rocco gave you?
Rocco hasn't given me
Rocco
them
still
yet.
hasn't actually sent me the seeds yet.
Yeah, that's kind
I
of
was
where
talking
I'm at.
to him about that earlier. He's saying that he's waiting to get some padded envelopes because he's gotten some seeds in the mail before and it's turned out bad, or they've been crunched or gotten wet and, like, started sprouting or stuff like that. So,
Well, it's too late in the season to plant them this year, anyways.
well,
Oh, yeah. It was
yeah,
too
and I
late.
knew
It
that
was too late when he
anyway.
was
So,
sending them. Yeah, to be from the beginning, it was too late.
yeah, so I sent him an email like yesterday, I believe, and I was gonna tell him about the thing going with Pet Supplies Plus right now, where if you go to www.petsuppliesplus.com/classroom, there's a whole bunch of stuff about, getting like a sponsorship for animals and stuff for your classroom, like with trying to bring, fish or a hamster or something like that into your classroom, and how it, benefits kids and the learning experience and all that stuff. So check out that if you guys are, have a teacher or know a teacher, check that out. Lemon Tree's doing really good.
Unlimited bettas.
That's a song.
I was just reading
But
Big City Bettas. She's moving
yeah,
to
I did.
Florida.
The other
And
part of the
planning on getting around
email was
tubs.
like, hey, like, I'm no hurry or nothing. Like, I was just like kind of under the impression that I should be expecting some seeds. So, like, did you send them or what? But yeah, he hasn't sent them yet.
Yeah, he said something to me. It was on a stream, whatever, week or more so. He said something. He was getting ready to send them out. He was waiting for
Yeah.
something to come back, and then I don't know. I was like, dude, whatever. Just get them me before the beginning of the year so I can plant them.
Yeah, just get them to me
season.
by like January so that I can
exactly.
actually plant them and get them ready by springtime.
It's kind of where I was at.
Elderberries are still growing.
Habaneros
These take
are
a
great,
while
man.
to actually ripen up.
Miles, the OG pepper boy. I have no idea who that is.
OG pepper boy. Never heard of him.
Deep
I try and get
boy.
heirloom seeds.
Yeah, that's the best way to go, man.
And I know, Rocco's got a lot of different like heirloom seeds from overseas, stuff like that. So
that in my local area here in a town that's not too far from here, it was Quakertown, right? And there was a type of tomato that was an heirloom tomato that has been lost. That was the Quakertown whatever heirloom tomato. And I was like, damn, that's interesting. I don't know. I guess somehow that seed type was lost. But there's some old lady in Quakertown that's got that thing in her attic or in her basement or something.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, there was a whole thing that we
ran seed storage area.
Yeah, but this was before that.
Yeah, there is a whole thing about that too. Yeah, but not every seed that's ever existed is actually there, though.
Yeah, right.
They can.
They only started that in the 90s or something like that, didn't they?
And I believe Iceland has like the world's largest like seed collection or something like that too. But yeah, there's still not everything that's ever existed, especially because like there was a period in history that we almost lost like all the natural versions of the apple, and we went down to almost completely just the golden and the red delicious.
Chalupa's all for losing tomatoes.
Yeah, we don't need tomatoes.
Well, I thought
I need ketchup though.
Apples
and pasta sauce.
Yeah, they do graft apple trees. I guess we
kind of need tomatoes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And there was something I read that most modern wines in France, all white wines, are actually a hybrid of something that came from, I don't know if it was California, but it came from the Americas, because there was some fungus that struck in France that all the American so they were all some sort of graft of that, right? So they all kind of grafted onto it, and now everything is like a hybrid.
There was it was like a massive fungus or something that took over all the grapes and wineries in France, and so
the American strains were resistant, so they grafted
all French wine, other than like champagne, I believe. All French wine is technically like California wine that's grown in France.
They're all America now. That's right.
But yeah, I do have this massive ghost pepper right here, Jason.
Damn, son. Look at that. It's huge. All right, you're going to make me pull off my, what do you call it, pepper? Habanero.
Are you going to eat it?
No. I'm not going to eat it right on the... What are you nuts? This thing is like...
That's just a waste of a pepper, man.
That is a waste of a pepper in my mind. I mean, I would eat a pepper. I have no problems eating peppers.
Especially because, I mean, this year I'm not getting a lot of peppers. I have a few that are growing and ripening up, but I'm not getting as many peppers as I did last year. And I got so many peppers the year prior to that I was just giving stuff away. Like I had way too much. Whereas like, I'm not sure if it's the bee population or what, but I'm not getting the produce that I've gotten in previous years.
It could very well be a bee issue. I mean, that's an actual thing, man.
Yeah. Oh, it really is.
Like at an incredible rate.
Right. But I mean, my blackberries did fantastic and all that, but even so, like my blueberry bushes, I only had one blueberry bush out of my 6 that actually had any blueberries this year. And blueberries are already done for the year. and blackberries are pretty much done for the year as well. There's still a few left on there that I could pull off.
If you're really, really bored, I mean, you can do it yourself. Just get a Q-tip and start going to town.
Oh yeah, Q-tip or a small like paintbrush and stuff. I've done that before, man. And maybe that's kind of why I got so much produce with my peppers 2 years ago, because I was out there actually with like a paintbrush and stuff, pollinating all my peppers and all that, because I wasn't seeing any bees. Oh man, look at that habanero!
Like, this thing's huge, right?
That's pretty good, yeah.
This is like one of 4 that are ripe already, and there's like 30 other ones on the plant. So I was like, oh man.
Now I want some chili.
Right.
Oh man,
that would go good in a pot of chili, wouldn't it?
Heck yeah! I gotta figure out
ghost pepper extract. Just 2 drops will bring that chili to a whole nother level.
That is a level, man. I make some bomb chili, man. Not gonna lie.
Making chili is a guy thing, man.
And I don't use ground beef, and I don't use tomatoes. So Chalupa, you will love my chili.
That was a habanero, Zed.
Yeah, that was a habanero.
Oh, she did say never mind. Yeah.
Either of you guys thought about doing a video of what is that some tortilla chip challenge?
Oh, the hot chip challenge thing?
Yeah.
I did think about that before. A couple years ago or so, but I don't know, like those sorts of things don't necessarily intrigue me a whole lot. Like spicy challenge for the sake of spicy. Like,
yeah,
I enjoy spicy food, don't get me wrong, but I enjoy it along with the flavor of the food. Like, I don't order the blazing wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, not because they're too spicy, but because they taste terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. That's why I usually get like when I got the mango habanero stuff or something like that. I like something with like some flavor in it, you know what I mean, or some combo that's like, you know what I mean. I love it.
Yeah, like I really like the Thai curry wings that they have at Buffalo Wild Wings, or
my wife really likes the
sweet chili or
Reaper sauce or whatever they have. I think
the hot barbecue.
She likes it, man. She's all about it.
Like And that's kind of one of the main...
It's like a flavor, you know what I mean? It's got to have flavor. That's what I was telling Rocco when Rocco was telling me about all these peppers. I'm like, I'm not about just being hot, you know what I mean? It's got to have some sort of flavor.
Yeah, like some sort of unique flavor that's, makes Smoky, that pepper special, But see, that's what kind of got me so inspired to make like the ghost pepper extract as well, aside from just extracting the heat out of the peppers so that I could use them without burning my face off. It was the fact that I could add just a few drops to something and increase the heat level without actually like affecting the flavor.
Yeah.
So you can make something that tastes really freaking good and add a few drops of that, and then it's spicy and tastes really good.
How do you make your extract?
I just chop up the ghost peppers and put them in a jar, and then add Everclear to it. So I soak the ghost peppers in Everclear for a couple days, and then I separate the alcohol from the peppers. The peppers are then kind of a yellow color, and the Everclear is bright red. And then
Everclear is like 100 proof grain alcohol, right? Is that right?
It's 95%, I believe.
So it won't light on fire.
Yeah. So then I actually use my coffee maker, my coffee pot, and I just put it on the hot plate of the coffee pot and just like slowly heat the alcohol away with my fans and stuff going, so I don't, gas myself in my house, and just basically bring it down until it's just like the ghost pepper oil. It's a very, very dark red that looks like blood. In fact, like here, let me
don't bring me down.
Like, yeah, you can't even see the color. Like it's such a dark red that it's like blood. Yeah.
Can you bring up my shared screen? I want to show you a real good friend of mine. He has an actual extractor that does exactly what you're talking about. I want you to see it.
How do I?
Why did I do
I
that?
put you on solo layout. Is that how I do it? Or
No,
There's
he's
another
sharing
one
a screen.
waiting. There's another one waiting in
In the wings.
in the
Oh, there we go.
background.
Cool. Add to stream.
All right, you got to check this out. Let me hit the play button.
What are we looking
So
at?
that's the alcohol
Oh, the
and whatever
extractor you were
plant
talking
material
about.
in a spinning globe.
Oh, so like the alcohol's
And
vapor?
it heats it up, and then the alcohol gets through, cools back down, and drips back in, so you can reuse the alcohol later.
It's an extractor distillery mixed
Holy
together.
cow.
That's awesome.
I'm not gonna say okay. I'm not gonna say what he's extracting.
It doesn't matter what he's extracting. It's an extractor. It's awesome.
I'm guessing it was green.
Yeah, it was mint. You know, he's making peppermint extract.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. But yeah, man, he's
Which
got a
I
lot
did actually
invested in
make.
that.
I made a whole bunch of extracts and stuff for my herbs last year and the year prior.
You know,
And then
you're really into it if you spend that kind of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was like an operation, man. I remember as a kid, we walked across some moonshine stills in the woods, and they were the scariest thing you could ever see.
Oh man, yeah.
Because it wasn't just the moonshine still that was scary; it was the dudes that probably had shotguns that were watching you.
And the 7 Rottweilers.
Yeah, exactly. Feeding my fish.
So I'm thinking about for a future giveaway, maybe like giving away a couple jars of pickles or something when I make them. If people like pickles, because I make a really awesome spicy dill pickle.
I'd be down.
And hey, they could ship fairly well, so it's not like it has to be refrigerated right away.
They're preserved, yeah. And if you get them canned or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do is I can them, but I still wouldn't, you know. I mean, you could leave them for a long period of time, but I'd still, you know, refrigerate them and eat them within, you know, a month or so.
Really? If you can them? Holy cow, dude. You can pickles, man. They're good for like on the shelf for like a couple of years.
Oh, yeah, totally. But I mean, if you open them up, like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Refrigerate them. But I mean, even if they were refrigerated, they'd probably last like a year in the refrigerator before they went bad.
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally. They would last. I'm not saying that they wouldn't last, but I mean, at least with me, like, they're so damn good. And like, once I open them up, that jar is gone within a couple days. And that's, you know, that's pacing myself.
You're in like a pickle coma on the couch.
Yeah.
Bologna basil. Chalupa's in.
Some bologna.
And he's spreading his pickle all over fish tube. That's the funny thing. Like when my kid was little, that's what he called his, you know, his thing. He called it his pickle.
Look at my tang tang.
And he would always say something like, I don't know, you know.
My pickle hurts.
I guess it's a guy thing, but he'd be like, my pickle's messing up. He was what he'd say. My pickle's messing up. Like what? Slurping the pickle juice and the pickles. Yeah, pickle juice is great.
Oh man, yeah.
It's really good for cramps. Apparently, I heard. Or like
it's really good for a lot of stuff because it's you know, acidic and all that. Like
it's electrolytes out the wazoo is what it is.
Oh, that too. But like it's good for your skin. So like if you're having acne problems or whatever, like it can help get your oils and acids back in balance. If you
pickle juice
drink
diet.
if you drink the like equivalent, like every shot of alcohol you take, if you take a shot of pickle juice as well, you will have
liver will
absolutely
kill
no
you.
hangover.
Really? I
I'm
don't know
gonna
about
call
that. That seems
BS
like
on that
I'm
one.
calling BS on that because that's
Absolutely
a
no
lot of salt.
hangover. If you take a shot of Jameson and a shot of pickle juice right afterwards, you can drink as much as you want, but you will not have a hangover.
All right, Danny. There's going to be a convention we're at together, and this is going to happen.
Yeah, I see an experiment coming up.
And we're going to see how we feel in the morning.
It counteracts the negative effects of the alcohol on your liver. So what you would experience is like the pains and stuff of the hangover just non-existent.
You'd still be extremely dehydrated.
I mean, you probably be dehydrated, but also you got to think about the fact that you're drinking. It's kind of the same as like every shot you drink like a glass of water or whatever too. Like that can help with your hangover in itself. God, yeah. Just drinking something else along with the alcohol.
Just hydrating.
So, yeah.
Allison will take the hangover.
So it helps with your hydration. It helps with your electrolytes. It soothes your liver, and it does a lot of different things internally to where, like, yeah, no hangover.
Our friends would do this thing where we have this like farmers market, and we used to go there and try and find the most effed up thing we could get for each other for like a secret Santa. And the one year I got like a 5-gallon bucket full of pickles. And somebody won that one.
Oh man. Oh, I would love to have a 5-gallon bucket full of pickles.
I was jealous.
God,
and the girl
damn.
who got it didn't even like pickles, so she gave it to her nephew or something like that.
What?
I know. Like, how dare you desecrate these pickles?
Or there's hear me out.
Gatorade.
There's Gatorade.
It's got electrolytes.
I mean, but she's not lying though.
Yeah, but Gatorade's nothing but sugar. It's not really good for you. So if
well,
you gotta
right,
do
but
that,
there's also a lot of
Pedialyte.
sugar in pickle juice too.
Pedialyte, man. It's the only way. I don't think there's a lot of sugar in pickle juice. There is some sugar in pickle juice. There's nowhere near as much sugar in pickle juice as there is in Gatorade.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
like
it's almost equivalent with like sugar and salt that's involved. It's mostly just vinegar.
Kool-Aid. That's what the plants crave. Maple syrup? Maple syrup's got electrolytes?
Got it. It's what plants crave.
So I guess you could drink
it does depend on the type of pickle too, Rico. You're right, because like if you get the bread and butter or the sweet pickles, like those have a whole lot more sugar than your sour dill pickles. So yeah, it depends if you're getting sweet pickles or sour pickles. But I don't like sweet pickles, so I just pretend like those don't exist.
I'm telling you, the best hangover cure is V8. The big
speaking of Kool-Aid and pickles, there are people out there that apparently add like a packet of Kool-Aid in their pickle juice and add like extra sugar and stuff to it to make like sweet, fruity flavored pickles. And that just sounds disgusting to me.
Indeed.
Don't get me wrong. I like a sweet pickle or a bread.
Yeah, like a bread and butter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or gherkin.
Quit jerking my gherkin.
I love that name, gherkin.
But I don't like sweet pickles, gherkins, bread and butter pickles either. Like no.
No, see, I like it all, man. And I like the sour ones. I like the hot ones.
I like hot and sour pickles.
I forget what those doggone things were that I had last. They were something famous pickles, and they were like a bread and butter, but they were spicy.
Dave's Famous Pickles?
It's something like that.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They were actually really, really good.
We have 2-gallon jugs of bread and butter pickles in the fridge right now. Crackers and Stilton cheese.
Tickle me pickles, spicy deal.
Now I'm going to have to go to the grocery store and get some pickles.
The Gherkin Bandit. Yeah. He's slightly prouder than the Tic Tac.
Slightly prouder.
Yeah, that was a good hangover cure. Except by then it's already too late, Geek Boy.
I've
Because
said this
sometimes you
time
never
and
utter
time
those
again,
words.
man. You can't have a hangover if you don't quit drinking.
Yeah, but you can also die.
You guys are getting me hungry for pickles. I never ate lunch, man. I'm starving. I'm gonna
I
get a
barely
pickle
ate
and eat
lunch.
this habanero. I never had hangover using that method. I'm done drinking. Yeah, as long as you stay up long enough. Yeah, I guess so. Usually, when I say I'm done drinking, it's because I can't lift my hand anymore to get to my mouth.
Yeah.
No, usually they're pretty good. You got to go in with a plan. That's what I say. Take your mind. I'm not having more than 3 beers.
Oh yeah, I've said
Right.
that tons of times.
Yeah, but you got to stick to the plan.
Yeah. After 3 beers, that plan got thrown in the campfire.
It's only a plan if you stick to
it.
it. Otherwise, you're just winging it.
Right.
The only time that plan would have ever worked is if I only had 3 beers and the liquor stores were closed.
Yep.
Only 3.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go raid the fridge for a pickle.
So let's see. I believe Brienne comes on in like a half hour, right? Anybody know?
I don't know, but she really got me interested in some other pencil fish. I've got the Beckbird's pencil fish, and I really like them. But then I started looking at the wet spot and looking at some of the other pencil fish that they have available. So I got a funny feeling in my near future I'm going to be putting in a big order of pencil fish.
Nice. Pencil fish. Oh yes, Bloody Marys are my favorite.
That is actually, since you're talking about hangover remedies, the Bloody Mary is the king of hangover remedies.
Man, see, that's why I drink Bloody Marys, because I've never gotten a hangover on a Bloody Mary either.
Usually you drink them in the morning, don't you?
Exactly. When you have a hangover.
I've drank a few Bloody Marys.
Really?
I like them.
Big City Bettas says that he sent a leak to Lucas about my Glass Box Hero, and he freaking loves it.
That's awesome. And I think Big City Bettas is a she, right? Isn't that Amber?
Yeah. No, Lucas likes.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, Big City Bettas likes it too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You weren't there on Saturday morning cartoons when one of the Name That Tunes was Jukebox Hero.
Oh, really? But everybody was like, Glass Box Hero.
Yeah, I think it was Tianaqua said that first. He was like, Glass Box Hero. I had to do it, you know?
Right? Yeah, I can't see if there's.
Now I'm going to be singing that song
live
now that you
streams
mentioned
coming
it.
up soon.
What is today, Monday?
I'm pretty sure Bree streams at 4 Central on Mondays. I don't know. Brienne, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I know she did yesterday.
I don't know. They were talking about it on the morning show this morning about.
Oh yeah, I haven't been able to attend that because I'm working on this job site that has 0 cell reception. I am in the freaking sticks, man. I can't get anything.
Watching dudes pour concrete.
No, they're digging for footings, for a culvert over a drainage, like some sort of drainage in like a valley. It's like a creek, not even a creek. It's like less than that. It's just like runoff.
Only Sundays and Wednesdays.
But of course, it's like a PennDOT project, so it's got to be like, yeah, it's like a ditch basically. And of course, it's like, you know, it's been a drainage ditch for like forever. So the soils, like when they dig down, are complete junk. So they got to over excavate. It's just a process.
Okay, so Lady Diane, you know, she said something. Now it's got me wanting to ask you guys each a question.
Okay.
We'll start with Terry, and then Jason, you can answer afterwards. Terry, what is one type of alcohol that you can no longer drink, and why?
Oh, that's absolutely easy. Peach schnapps. Because the very first party I went to, I was still in junior high, but I was with a bunch of high school kids, and I had a really big crush on this girl, and we were playing quarters, and I wasn't very good at quarters, but she was, and I drank a whole bunch of shots, and I wound up impressing the heck out of her while I was in the bathroom puking my guts out. And yeah, to this day, I can if somebody orders a shot of peach schnapps, they could be on the other end of the bar and I'll smell it and feel sick.
Rico said any type of scotch. No, that's a shame because I love scotch. Yeah, me too, Steven. I'll drink some scotch with you. No, but my alcohol, since Terry would be like that that Goldschlager or Rumpelmints or anything that's got like that weird mint schnapps flavor kind of stuff.
Huh.
Like I can do Jägermeister, that's like a different flavor, but anything that's like that gold minty stuff I can't do because of pretty much that same reason. Doing a bunch of shots with some chick.
Okay.
And I actually think I was sick too, so I took some codeine, and then like codeine and Goldschlager did not mix well at all. And all I remember was seeing gold flecks and everything that was coming out.
See, for me, it's Jägermeister.
Oh, is it?
Oh, that stuff's pretty bad too.
Now, see, like I used to when
like
I first
Ricola.
started, like seriously, like
it's horrible,
getting into drinking and stuff. Like I had somebody buy me a bottle of Jaeger, and I pretty much drank like the whole thing, and like
yeah, that stuff's a hangover in a bottle.
Yeah, I kept drinking it for a while, but then like I eventually just got to a point where I was just like, why am I drinking this? Like, I don't even like black licorice. This is disgusting. And I can't drink it anymore. Now it's like too thick and just gross. And I can't do like thick alcohols anymore.
Dude, Geek Boy, you're right about that. There's something about tequila that, I don't know. There's definitely an angry drunk when you're on tequila. I don't know why, it just is. You get rambunctious.
But like, unlike Jason, where he doesn't like peppermint schnapps or whatever, I would much rather have a shot of peppermint schnapps than a shot of Fireball. I just don't like cinnamon though.
Fireball can get me in trouble.
Yeah, see, no, I'm not about the cinnamon.
If I'm gonna have cinnamon, I want it to be like a cinnamon and sugar, like sweet cinnamon, you know. So
yeah, like
the rum shata, horse shata stuff. That's like cinnamon cream. Like, oh, that's good.
I mean, if we're drinking alcohol, I'm going for the just straight alcohol. Like I'm going for tequila or scotch.
Yeah.
Or whiskey, for that matter. But depending on the whiskey. Like scotch is really good. Bourbons are really good. Irish whiskeys are okay.
Whiskey guy.
Yeah, if I'm like just drinking like straight alcohol, it's probably like whiskey or like some type of like a honey bourbon or something like that, you know.
Bourbons are good, man. They're good summer drinks. I love bourbon.
But like most of the time, if I'm going to order a drink, I'm going to order a Bloody Mary. If they don't have the stuff to make a Bloody Mary, I'm going to order like a 7 and 7 or some other type of, whiskey and 7-Up.
Yeah. Well,
Or like a whiskey sour.
That's what
really
I was going to say. That's my
sour.
go-to. A whiskey sour is really good. I really like that. And if they do you can do the Seagrams with the whiskey sour. Those are all right. Those are not bad. But I prefer in the summer. It's got to be bourbon with the sours. Other than that, it's like a summer thing. I don't know why.
I've never had a bourbon sour.
Try a bourbon whiskey sour, man. And I don't know. I mix them myself, and I just use like simple syrup, lemon juice, and bourbon. And then sometimes I'll add like seltzer water or 7-Up or whatever to kind of cut it, so it's not as heavy.
Yeah.
Or straight alcohol, vodka, no flavor. Ugh.
Man, I can't do that.
Vodka's one of those drinks I can't do.
Vodka is like you're drinking rubbing alcohol, man.
And vodka also, vodka's the only drink that I've actually done like 2 shots of and been like violently ill off of and not been drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like vodka is really good to like mix with like soda and Kool-Aid or whatever, Like if you get like a bottle of Mountain Dew and you drink it down like halfway and you fill it up with vodka and put a packet of Kool-Aid in there, oh man, that's some crazy get your ass falling on the floor shit. But
not a big fan of vodka actually. That's actually probably the one alcohol, like straight alcohol, I would avoid.
Vodka is what high school kids drink.
Or gin. Gin is horrible. I don't know who drinks gin. Miserable people.
I thought like MD 2020 or Boonesberry Farm is what high school kids drink.
Like gin reminds me of like, whoa, I don't even know. It's those juniper berries, man. It's like, this is poison. Is this not poison? Why are you drinking this?
Gin and 7. That's pretty good.
Oh, but I could have a gin and 7-Up, but not a gin and tonic. Like that's just gross.
Mm-hmm. So nasty.
I don't
2
like
days
martinis
later, you
either.
burp and it smells like a pine tree.
The good Mandy or the bad Mandy? That's funny. I hate gin too. Yeah, I don't like it, man. It's like turpentine. That's what I feel like I'm drinking, man. Like I might as well be drinking kerosene and probably get the same.
Stephen P. 2003.
What up, Broskies?
What up, buddy?
What's going on, Steven?
Hey, I'm about to scoop a Mr. Plecto to ship out.
Nice.
Mr. Plecto.
Mr. Plecto.
I am not going to use a cold pack because the weather in New Hampshire is like perfect right now.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that earlier, Terry. Those cold packs. I got when I ordered my Black Ghost knives, they sent them with a cold pack.
Maybe they do it just for peace of mind.
Well, see, I know ghost knives are a little bit more of a temperate type species.
They arrived alive. So
they arrived.
They like dark, shaded areas that tend to be cooler. So
where they at now? Don't ask.
In the garden.
Ghost knife hell.
That's right.
They are now actual ghosts.
In the fish room. Speaking of that,
man.
I got plans.
I feel we should make
Haunted
a Mr.
fish.
Manifesto theme to Killer Queen. only make it about ghost knives.
Like, how am I a queen?
He's the killing king.
Yeah, he's a killer king.
No, it's got
no
be
more
like,
clown
ghost knife
knife.
killer. Get to say, ba, 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 ba.
I was thinking like a play on Ghostface Killer, except Ghost Knife Killer.
Yeah.
With the Wu-Tang Clan.
Run.
What was that Talking Heads movie or song? Psycho Killer.
Yeah, that's what Danny just said.
Oh, okay.
Was that Danny that just said it? Yeah,
no, that was me.
Oh, it was you. Okay. Either way, somebody just said.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was that. Ba, 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 ba.
Who was that? Stefan? Stefan?
I forgot that was
Stefan said that.
Stephen B.
I forgot that was in that song.
Je m'appelle Stefan.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour. Was it that Pepe Le Pew man?
Oh, the skunk rapist.
Yep. He
Well, it was
always my
actually a
favorite.
cat rapist. He was a skunk that
Well,
raped.
he was a
Well,
skunk.
he didn't want to. He didn't want to rape a cat. He just thought the cat was a skunk. Stupid cat kept getting painted.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yep.
I told the story, was it yesterday, about this guy I used to work with who was Bo from Sicily, who had no idea skunks existed, and he thought it was a cat and walked up to his front porch and picked it up and moved it.
Kitty.
Wow.
Oh, you're a smelly
And his
kitty.
wife was
Oh,
freaking
God.
out, and she's like, "What are you talking?" He's like, "What are you talking about? This is a cat." He's like, "This is a skunk." He's like, "What the hell's a skunk?"
Wow.
You're
He
about
did
to
not
find
get
out.
sprayed.
You're
Yeah, he did
getting
not
close
get
to
sprayed.
finding out.
What?
Yeah, and he came up to me the next day at work. He's like, "Jason, what is skunk?" And I was like, "What is a skunk?" I mean, like, it's a black animal with a white stripe that will spray you. He's like, "Really? This is a thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a thing." And then like it.
Skunks are like lower to the ground. They do not look like cats, really.
Well, I guess he never saw a skunk before in his life, so he thought
I
it was
guess he
some
never
sort of
saw
weird
a
cat.
cat either.
Boy, that's a
Well,
weird
I mean,
ass
guess
cat.
yeah, he probably thought it was a weird ass cat, or like, you know
Come
what I
here,
mean?
you
Like,
freaky cat.
you come halfway across the world, you see all sorts of cats that probably don't look like the
I
cats
think
you
it looked
saw.
more like a Shih Tzu than a cat.
All I know is they will tear up your landscaping, man.
Oh yeah.
I know. I just thought it was hysterical.
Don't poke the rabid badger.
And then his birthday was like the night, like not too far from there, and like his birthday cake, everybody got him like a big skunk cake because they all thought it was hysterical.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to jump down. I got a couple things to do, and I'm actually might stop by a local collecting spot where I've collected some fish before.
Oh, we lost Stephen P.
So, wish me luck.
Good luck, man.
I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one, Danny. Nice stream, man.
Later, Terry. Have fun.
Have a good
See
one,
you,
guys.
Terry. Good luck, man. Steven bounced. I don't have an M.
He's back though.
Oh, is he? Yeah, I was showing some stuff off.
He was trying to switch his camera and must have.
I love pressing the wrong button.
You hit the duck.
Man, I got so many plecos in here. I threw some Cull Tiger Endlers, and they just freaking exploded. How is this tank?
Oh, is that what all those endlers are? Or the culls?
Well, yeah, they were culls, but now I've actually gotten some pretty nice variations out of it.
Yeah,
I might introduce them back into the main tank.
It's not a bad idea. Is that a cherry shrimp right there?
Oh yeah, there's some cherry shrimp. All right, they're all in the flooding plants right now. But yeah, this is like the perfect tank for cherry shrimp. All this filth down here. Pleco filth.
Right on.
Wow.
And I have like a substrate of snail shells.
I saw a super red pleco. Is that what you're trying to catch too?
There's no super reds in here. You might have seen an albino.
Oh yeah. That's an albino.
No, I'm growing out the albinos to full grown because my LFS gives me like a crap ton of credit for the albino long fins and stuff.
Wow.
Like, look at this boy right here.
Holy cow.
He was
nice.
a survivor from the CO2 apocalypse.
Survive.
He's a survivor. He not go give up from the CO2 apocalypse.
I just want to catch one chocolate longfin.
The eye of the pleco.
Dun, 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 dun. The
I hate catching plecos. I need to catch a nice size one too.
I don't know how you tell which one's
That's
what's
nice
wrong with the one against glass back there.
On the glass.
What?
That one on the glass looks really good.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah.
He's
what
too
about
small.
the one on the wood? right there. What is that?
The wood, the one on the wood has a little bit of a calico look to it.
Yeah, that one looks really cool.
Oh,
Well, I want to save that one. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, heck yeah. Don't sell that one.
Okay,
that one
how about this
too.
one on the planter? I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
Come
screw him.
on, motherfucker.
You out.
No.
Mother Pleco, get in the funking net, Mother Pleco.
Hardscape hider. Oh no. Hold on. I think I might have made him temporarily unsellable. Hold
Dead.
on.
D-E-D.
No. I think I might have pinched a part of his tail off accidentally with the net.
Well,
Son of a bitch.
take him anyway. But this is what you get, motherfuckers. Oop, sorry.
No,
Sorry,
this
Dan.
is eBay. This is eBay.
Oh,
I
The
already
people on
cursed
eBay
earlier.
are
You're fine.
assholes. They're like, it had a piece of tail missing. I will ruin your business.
oh yeah, true.
Get out of there. All right, go
Get out of
blow
that
the
net.
tail back. Who's next? Look
Yeah, but how do they
filthy
know
this
that didn't
freaking
happen
water
in
is.
shipping? Like, what the heck?
Because there's video.
I'm not saying you
proof.
should ship it. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, well, I I could say that, but I run an impeccable customer service operation
fair.
here.
That's fair. I just don't think a busted fin would be like a deal breaker for me if I got
No,
fish. And, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'd be like, all right,
because
whatever. You got
you're
jacked
smart
up.
enough to know that the tail piece is going to grow back, but I'm telling you, I've sold to some.
I get it.
I don't want to call them morons, but
That's why I don't sell fish.
Sometimes I buy fish intentionally because they have a little bit of a deformity, but it's a deformity that I like. There was a Tropheus du Boise that I bought a while back, and it didn't do very well in my mixed tank. It ended up getting bloat, which is common with Tropheus, especially in tanks that have mixed sort of diets because the other ones demand too much protein. But on his dorsal fin, the very front, like, little bone of his dorsal fin, the little spike, was actually separated from the rest of the dorsal fin, and it stuck out a little bit further, like kind of pointing forward almost. So I called him, oh, dang it, Alfalfa. I called him Alfalfa from
Our gang.
Yeah. What movie was that? Dang.
It's from Our Gang, but yeah. Little Rascals. Same
Little Rascals. Yeah, Little Rascals.
Yeah. Alfalfa. That's funny.
I used to have half albino, half chocolate, but I sold off a lot of the albinos. And this time around, I want to breed 2 of the albinos because those sell infinitely faster.
Hello there, Professor Looney Tunes of the Chewy.
Hello, Danny. How are you?
What's up,
I'm
Chewy?
good. How are you?
I'm being smoke inhalated. We have lots of fires in BC.
Oh, man.
That sucks.
Fortunately, and our airport is shut down.
Are you in your new place now?
Nope. Today was the day.
Or today's the day and you can't because of the fires?
Exactly.
That sucks.
Smoke. Airport shut down.
Yeah, that's rough.
They are only allowing military and ambulance services only.
I guarantee you, because that's particulates in the air.
Yeah.
It's serious damage to jet engines or any reciprocating engine for that matter.
Exactly. And they don't want to risk commercial pilots that are not trained in that kind of area. So, we're all stuck. And it's been going on for about a week now, and one of the towns burned down in BC. It's horrible. It's like it's another Fort McMurray, which got burnt out a few years back when a raging fire went from BC through Alberta all the way through the oil sands. Horrible. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Man.
Please send us rain. Please. Like we didn't get very much snow this winter, and we need water. Give us a hurricane, please.
Tell all your buddies up there to do a bunch of water changes and just throw it
Oh,
everywhere.
we can't even use water because we're on a Columbia River agreement with the United States.
Oh,
It's
That's right.
ridiculous.
Your water is our water.
give me
Exactly.
that
Don't you
water.
forget it.
Exactly. You wouldn't believe it here, man. It's like it's ridiculous.
Wow.
We had to hire Mexicans to fight the fire because there's so much fires going along the West Coast. The U.S. don't have that many firefighters, I guess, that want to live in COVID environments.
Fair.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm just ranting because
I know, man.
we
There's a whole
wait
lot of
2
rants.
years for this, and it's ridiculous.
Flash flooding watch.
Oh, I would make the worst fish store employee.
Well, I mean, you are doing this one-handed while trying to film it.
Yeah, that's true. And usually,
Sorry
and usually
about coming on
fish,
and ranting, but how is everybody?
Doing pretty good. But yeah, Steven, if you're trying to catch a pleco, it's best to use your hand and the net and like basically put them into a corner and then have them swim up to the surface and basically like you use your hand to corner them with the net and pull them up to the surface, and then they'll have to basically fall into the net because they got nowhere to go.
I've had good luck with the specimen containers and just kind of like corralling them.
That can work too. You can
and then,
also
like,
just
then you put your hand on the glass and it kind of scares them off the glass, and then they kind of fly into the container, and that's when you pull them up. That's
that
what I
can
try
also
to do.
work.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. There's 100 different ways to, it's more than one ways to catch a fish.
But that's the best way that I've learned from working at a store is to, for most fish to just basically use your hand and the net to corner them and pull them up to the surface.
So, Danny, did you enjoy the American Cichlid Association? What did you learn?
Oh, man. I enjoyed it so much. It was awesome. And I don't really feel like I necessarily learned a whole lot other than kind of about like how like big the lakes are and stuff like that, but I did learn that some live bearers and cichlids come from the same area, and so it is kind of possible to put some cichlids with some live bearers sometimes if you have the right sort of tank. And
Goodaids, or what do you mean?
Especially with Mexico.
Yeah.
Goodaids, is that what you're talking about? Or Goodaids, whatever you're talking about?
Well, yeah, basically the South Americans and South American live bearers can get along for the most part because they come from the same area. It's the Central American cichlids that are the more aggressive ones.
And then the ones in Mexico live with swordtails and goodeids.
Yes.
Which are North American fish.
And man, those wild swordtails that are there in Mexico are extremely beautiful. They have like a silvery body, but then like this bright yellow orange fin, like dorsal fin and tail fin with that nice sword, and they're just absolutely gorgeous.
Look at this beauty.
He's looking good.
Oh, he's in the net now. Fine, stay in the net. Gotcha, bitch.
Sucker. Localized flooding in Colorado a few days ago.
Well, Danny, I'm gonna post something in the stream. I do realize that there is a wonderful speaker that involves Mexican fish, and that's Rusty Wessel out of Kentucky area. But there's also my friend Juan, who is part of the CARES organization as well, and I have posted his link to every Mexican fish that inhabits the fish of Mexico. He is well versed in Mexican livebearers, as well as Mexican cichlids, as well as the various other different species that are involved in Mexico. Whereas you got to hear Lawrence Kent talk, and he has actually gone to Lake Victoria.
Yeah, that was really cool. And seeing the footage from the lakes and stuff from like Pam and from Lawrence and all that, it was just like really, really cool. And seeing that, like, I never really looked up a whole lot of footage other than I saw some footage, but it was more of like deep water footage of cichlids and stuff. Not really any footage from like Tanganyika or Victoria, and seeing that sort of footage where like Tanganyika is basically like a saltwater environment, just with not as much salt.
They all are.
I mean, they really all are, but Tanganyika specifically has like a very high pH, and it's very, very deep.
So does
and the fish live like near the surface, actually, in like reefs with like a whole bunch of collections of rocks and stuff, and just seeing like the gigantic rocks and the fish in their natural territories. I mean, for real, like when it comes down to it, you have to like incredibly overstock like an African cichlid tank because like the territories are so large. Like they have their like.
Well, Danny, there's other lakes to that region as well. Did you know that there is actually 9 other lakes in Kenya alone?
Well, right, yeah, it's called the Victoria Basin because it's more than just like one lake, and there's a whole lot. And
it's actually called the Rift Lakes of Africa.
This is painful to watch.
There's the 2 Rift Lakes, Malawi and Tanganyika, and then there's the Victoria Basin.
Well, there's also several lakes involved in the Rift Lakes of Africa from Kenya.
You should have lubricated,
there is 8 lakes alone in Africa.
Oh, it's past the point of no return now.
As well as
buy my fish and watch me struggle.
As well as freshwater and brown.
Just jam it in there.
You know when you accidentally unroll a condom?
No, I don't. I've been married for 2 long.
No.
Man, so because of the massive water change and the kind of rearranging in the rocks, I'm getting some aggression in my African cichlid tank. It's kind of fun to watch them doing their little lip lock stuff.
Did it, buddy? It's in.
I did it.
You know that our aquarium
I always get it in there, man.
In Calgary has got a biochemist in it who has compared the actual chemistry of Lake Malawi to Calgary water. Did you know that
very similar?
Did you know that the water contains 5 times the amount of sodium than any other waterway in North America?
Are you talking about the Calgary water, or are you talking about the
I'm talking about any other water system. I'm talking about hard water in Detroit.
No, from what source are you talking about? That's where I'm confused.
Talking from the Calgary Aquarium
Calgary
link that I posted. Grant Gussie, professor of chemistry of the University of Calgary. Water chemistry.
I love water
who
chemistry.
Compared notes.
What's that pink mean?
A well-known documented source as well as
Brown
the
is hardness.
courses provided
Yeah.
by the Calgary Water Source people.
The white one is chlorine.
I need
The
to get one of those
green is
signs that say no
alkalinity,
solicitors.
and the last one's pH.
Yeah, so nitrate, nitrite, hardness, chlorine, alkalinity, and pH.
Damn, was I spot on, man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I really need to get one of those no solicitors signs because there's been people walking up to my house, ringing my doorbell, trying to sell me stuff like every single day, man.
But even a no soliciting thing doesn't mean much because there's a whole lot of loopholes around getting around that, especially if it was political. You know what I mean? Or
But
if
that's
you
a
are,
different thing. Like, I'm tired of
you know.
everybody like, hi, like, I need to sell you a security system, or let me check out your
Yeah.
bugs, and whatever else. It's just like, I'm totally happy with the spiders I have in my house. Thank you. Like,
Yeah, man. Like, I don't need pesticides. I'd rather live with the bugs.
it's just like I'm.
Honestly, I don't know how we got this.
And it's like it's hard to get rid of these people.
I really
man.
don't know how we
like,
get this disconnected.
I found it best to just not answer the door, because if you answer the door, then they'll try and talk to you for as long as they possibly can.
I have not known any insect that likes vinegar. Period. Straight up. Spray vinegar anywhere you see bugs, you will not see bugs there ever again.
Yep. Peppermint oil is also good against like some of the creepy crawly ones, like ants and stuff. But it doesn't have any function against like mosquitoes or anything. Best thing against mosquitoes is to actually just eat a whole lot of garlic. Same with, leeches and ticks and all that stuff. Like, vampires don't like garlic.
Man, look at all these nitrates, bro. This is like
Jesus.
Like, how deep
80.
is that? Like, I don't even know what that means because I always see that color.
Yeah, it's like 80, but it's not as big of a deal as people think.
I don't think nitrates are all that bad.
No,
honestly.
they're not.
Nitrates aren't that bad.
Everyone's like, change water if it's 40. Yeah, maybe if you want to, don't let it get in the hundreds.
Yeah,
I guess,
I'm saying, but you know what? I think the problem is, like, honestly, there's got to be the balance. I mean, if things start getting out of whack, then you get algae, right? And
Join the 100 Club, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can get hair algae in here, but like any other kind of algae, plecos are all on top of that. I feed the crap out of this tank, though. There's no way I'm going to keep it unless I do daily water changes, and ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
But yeah, I put
vinegar is acid basin.
It is. That's weak acid.
These two.
It's actually not that weak on the scale.
I'll fill up with rapashi and zucchini, and they'll eat it in a day.
Because the vinegar that you buy is actually like quite weak compared to what actual like pure vinegar would be.
So you make your rapashi, and that's the stuff you freeze, and you just stick it on that skewer.
Yep, and some zucchini.
Nice, and that's for the plecos or whatever else wants it.
I don't even deliberately feed these endlers. They just eat whatever crap I throw in for the plecos.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of stuff everywhere for those dudes.
Yeah, just all that debris that's constantly floating around. They'll eat it on that.
See, I've added some cucumber into this tank before, and the rainbow shark kind of was picking at the cucumber a little bit, as was the Julidochromis marleri, but nobody else really seemed to mess with the cucumber at all. But I added cucumber into the tank with the Synodontis lucipinus and my green phantom pleco, and there was no cucumber left.
Maybe try blanching the cucumber before you stick it in with them.
I mean, I basically did, but
sometimes it just needs to be softened up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just an idea. I forgot. I was just gonna freaking ask a question about the use zucchini is what you said. Do you think that's better? Well, yeah, it seems softer than cucumber to begin with, right?
I blanched the zucchini, and so it'll sink and it's supposedly more nutritious than cucumbers, so I just use that. I
Yeah.
was feeding them broccoli for a while, like blanched broccoli, but after like an hour of it being under the water, it smells like ass. Makes the whole room stink.
Yeah. I don't like broccoli at all, so I
No,
wouldn't.
man.
See,
I mean, I
that's
like broccoli, but
why I
I'm
went
not
with
going.
cucumber anyways, because I'm growing cucumbers. So
Oh yeah, if you've
like
got an abundance of them, then you might as well.
Danny, do
I
you
don't
have an
care for
African gray?
zucchini, so for me to like buy one to serve my fish or whatever is, to actually have to go out and buy one specifically for that, and to buy a whole zucchini for
I don't mind
two
zucchini,
tanks.
but I'm not cooking it. I'll eat
Right.
stuff with zucchini. I'll eat I don't like, Thanksgiving. There's like the zucchini stuffing and stuff like that. That was great. Love it. But I would never buy it and make it.
I mean, my sister apparently made like a banana zucchini bread or whatever, and
I
apparently it
think I've
was
had that
really,
too.
really good. But
That sounds good. Yeah, but I'm not buying zucchini. I'm not a big fan.
somebody dropped up. Chewy must have dropped off. Oh, he says back to work, I think. There we go. That's
Control of phosphorus and nitrates are ever ending battle with established plants. That's phosphates. So that would be
yeah.
the P, right? And the
Yep, that's
K
the
is potassium.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Phosphates.
Man, what a disgusting tank this is. But it's like
Awesome.
it just prints money.
It's like night and day. Like Danny's tank is like this clean, pristine.
Well, look at this. So I've got this
Your
tank
tank
actually
is like this filthy mess, but it's filled with fish.
It's like this juxtaposition because I've got on the bottom, I've got this tank, and then right above it is this like amazing guppy mosh pit.
I like beer bread.
Oh, that's a different tank. Wait,
beer bread with beer cheese on top. Oh yeah.
Is it
It's
okay?
called
Yeah.
a
So there's a
grilled
tank
beer
above the tank?
cheese.
Yeah, hold on, let me switch cameras to something wider.
Beer
angle.
bread? Is that what you were just saying? Then?
Yeah, that's the best use for a natty light, is to make bread out of it.
That's fair.
So we got Pleco Filth.
Make bread and then you make
Clean,
cheese with it.
self-sustaining
and then you make
ecosystem.
grilled beer cheese.
What size tanks are those?
This is a 29, and this is a 40 breeder, and this is the metal Petco stand, and so a 29 fits right under the 40 breeder perfectly.
Nice. I have the same one, and I have a 20 long underneath mine.
Same
but
idea.
I have it supported with 2 planks of wood.
Yep,
same footprint, right? Yeah.
Same footprint, just not as tall.
And Danny, what tank is that one we're looking at right there?
That's a 55 gallon.
Nice.
Man, I got some
Mine's a
prize
29.
in here.
In case anyone wants to know. I just like beer, no bread. I'm with you. How about beer and then bread? Might as well carb out if you're carving out. And some cheese, too.
Yeah, this tank does look really good, though.
That does look
and
good,
these
man.
fish will always eat.
Looks real good. That's the one that has the 2 caves? Double caves all the way?
Well, I mean, there's multiple caves involved, but like this right here is like a double-decker sort of cave thing. There's the lower one and the upper one, but then there's one there and there's one there that has a nice big internal one there, and they're kind of digging out another one over here on this side, and there's a lot of little nooks and crannies back there for them to all hide around in.
I see the red tail. That's not red tail shark or rainbow shark. I don't know. Rainbow. I really don't know how to tell the difference between them.
the fins. A red-tailed shark just has the red tail. A rainbow shark has all the fins are red. But since this is a male, the lower fins have kind of a blackish, like a really nice dark deep red to them.
I see.
If it was a female, be a little bit of a lighter color black, like more of a charcoal color,
So
and then the fins would be kind of more of a pink
red
versus the
tail just
red.
means the tail. Like, so the pectoral fin or the caudal fin wouldn't be red.
Right,
Or
the caudal fin, the pectorals, the uh,
both.
all the other fins. Yeah. And then there's also a black shark, which is just all black. And that's the largest version of those three types of fish that are all kind of closely related. Um, I think the rainbow sharks are a little bit more on the herbivore
Oh,
side, whereas the red-tailed
Okay, that was
sharks are a
bad.
that
little
was
bit
bad.
more
God.
on the
That was real
protein
bad.
side. So they're all omnivores. But then yeah, the black shark gets like over a foot long.
Come
Hang in
on,
there,
dude.
dude.
I
I'll
don't
be
normally do
dead.
this one
I'll be
handed.
dead in 3
Nah.
days.
Oh, he's gonna be
You
fine.
did you drop the bag?
I dropped the
Totally, like
bag.
from 10 feet. Like,
Oh man.
10
I'm
feet.
like
Come on now. I'm
standing
not
to
that
the
tall.
side of my phone and stuff, not actually seeing everything that's going on. Jay Watts is in the house.
you said you were selling this on eBay or selling this to an eBay seller or buyer?
Buyer, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought on eBay.
Sorry, we lured for 20, man. Your pleco's gonna die. No, I'll be all right, man.
Yeah, it's got air cushion. Yeah, it's
I
just
had
like
like the tank we're looking at has got it's got two blue neon gobies in it, right? From 8 feet off the ground. Well, no, maybe not 8 feet. Probably like 6 feet off the ground. That dude took a leap from the
oh
fish
yeah.
store onto the ground and went splat. And then the dude took like 45 seconds to get him off. He kept like scraping him into the net and he kept flipping out of the net and he kept scraping him back in. And I'm like, dude, this fish is dead.
Hold your breath, buddy.
He even put him in the bag and he's like, I'm not charging you for that one. I'm like, that's cool because he's probably not going to live. But he did. He did.
There you go.
Well,
And his nickname is Splat.
I'm gonna ship it anyway because the way I do replacements, I don't like tell people I don't refund shipping. You know, I think it's bullshit.
Oh, shipping is shipping, dude. It is what it is. That's the cost. It's the cost of doing business is shipping, the way I see it. Right? You want a
Yeah.
fish, you're paying the shipping. You want the fish, you're going to pay for the fish too, but you can get usually get a guarantee or whatever on a fish. But the
Yeah,
shipping
well,
is like that's the cost.
But if they order a fish and they get it and they open the box immediately and the fish is dead, I mean that's really shitty for them to be out shipping because they got a dead fish, fault of their own. So I refund shipping and it's worked out because there's been very few DOAs. There were a couple when I was first starting to ship, but I learned and I have a very high success rate now.
Well, that's good. What mistakes were you making at first?
Well, I started shipping in the winter and I tried to use like a flat rate medium box with a heat pack, and the box is just too small, the heat pack too close to the bags. So that was a problem.
Okay.
I would put 2 bags in there, and then the heat pack with the bag that was nearest to the heat pack would have dead fish in it. That happened once.
Okay.
And another time was I don't even know. It was just cold, and I think it was post office was late. I stopped using the post office.
Easy. Go back to the fish room.
All right. I'm gonna jump down and get this boxed up and over to UPS. Talk to y'all later.
See you, Steve.
All right. Have fun.
Oh, he was saying he refunds his shipping, right? Is that what he just said?
He says he does.
If they're dead on arrival.
When it's DOA.
Okay.
But
that's fair.
Like if it dies like later on or something like that, he will refund the fish. But he won't refund the shipping.
No, I can see that. That's what I was like. I mean, he does a live guarantee policy. Is that what he was? I don't know.
I think so. Is basically the gist of it. Live guarantee for so many days, but
6 months, man. Give me that guarantee. I'll buy your fish.
I mean, at least at the Pet Supplies Plus that I work at, I'm not sure if it's same universally, but we do a 2-week guarantee on all of our animals, basically.
Petco used to do 30 days on fish, I think. I don't know if they still do. But you got to show up with a receipt, the water sample, the dead bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we need the bodies. We don't need the water sample the first time.
Oh, they want the water sample to make sure your water
and then we
quality
can
is
look
good,
up your
and then
receipt
they'll
and
refund
stuff.
you.
But then, like, if you bring us more dead fish, then we'll be like, okay, well, we need a water sample, and that sort of thing.
See, but all right.
But then there was one lady that was, I don't know what she was doing, but she just kept coming back with fish after fish, and just like, we got tired. It's like, lady, you got to stop killing these fish, and so we're not going to sell you any more fish. Like, this is the last time, and that's it.
All right, hear me out on this, man.
Multiple aquariums.
I would go to like the local Petco, right? And Petco is not great for some of the people that have worked there in the past for fish and whatever. Right. So, and the quality of some of their fish is not great. Right. So if you bought some fish and they died and you brought them back and be like, hey, these fish died, and you had a water sample and all that good stuff, and they replaced them, and then 3 days later those fish died, and you brought them back and was like, hey, these fish died too, and they're giving you a hard time when it was really their fucking stock sucks. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not like, and I don't know about your Pet Supplies Plus, but our Pet Supplies Plus is horrible. Like, they have like tanks I wouldn't even freaking think of putting fish in. Some of these things I've seen, it's disgusting.
Oh, well, our tanks are awesome. You can see our
you're
tanks.
A fish guy, exactly.
I mean, I filmed the Glassbox Hero in my store, so you can see how clean and awesome those tanks were as I scroll through. Fishy Biz Aquatics has a video of him at my store, getting some fish and stuff. There he is, multiple. What's up?
Yo.
Hey, how's it going?
Man? Good.
It was saying that the device wasn't connected for some reason.
Yeah, I was trying to add you a second ago, but it wouldn't actually let me add you to the stream. It just said like edit name and kick from studio or something, but that was the only options I had.
Yeah. Well, it's working now, so.
Yeah.
It's working now, right?
But no, not only am I like a super fish nerd or whatever, but
yeah, I think that's what really makes a difference.
My pet specialist guy is a super fish nerd as well. And he's also really into reptiles. So he does a really good job of, making sure everything is well taken care of and clean. And we kind of scrub the tanks almost every day, but like Saturday is like the big tank cleaning day. And
Acid's 420. So saith Jeffrey Watts.
It was.
What is it now?
426?
7, yeah. Man, is my chat that far behind? What the heck?
I mean, chat is a little delayed. Both
7
from
minutes.
Well, yeah. both from the like couple seconds until YouTube, and then the couple seconds to get back to us from YouTube onto StreamYard.
So multiple aquariums. You're Diego, right?
Yes.
Right on, man. Nice to meet you.
Wow, this is
I'm
the
Jason.
first day these Synodontists have been like all out and about among the tank. So I'm glad they're like finally comfortable in here and swimming around.
That's definitely cool. Now, how big do those Synodontists get?
They get up to like, I believe up to like 4 inches
That's
at
not
like
bad.
their maximum size, but they grow really slow. Whereas like the Petricola gets like 7 or 8, I believe.
And the ones you have are the Lucipinus?
Yes.
Okay. So the
Which used to be called
Lucipinus
the
are...
dwarf Petricola, but they're not a Petricola at all. They're a Lucipinus.
Okay. So Synodontis lucipinus is a smaller species than Synodontis petricola.
And the Petricola is a smaller species than the multipunctatus, I believe. And the multipunctatus is the true cuckoo catfish.
Okay. All right, I'm being summoned to dinner, fellows. So I got to AFK. I will drop down. But thanks for having me, Danny. It was
Yeah,
definitely a
no
good time,
problem.
man.
Thanks for being around, Jason.
No problem.
Alrighty, have a
And
good one.
Zen, that's exactly how it is when just working at a pet store. Sometimes fish just die, whether it just be from aggression in the tanks, or the fish was a little sick or something, but something that wasn't like a visible sickness, and different things like that. Fish just kind of die, and it really sucks. When you're trying your best to keep the tanks as healthy as possible and all that, and you have the one kid in the store that, look, mom, a dead fish. Like it's just like you try your hardest to make sure none die, but fish just sort of die, and every morning and every night you got to go through and get the dead fish out of the tanks. I've only had like 1 or 2, maybe 3 nights that there hasn't been a single dead fish in the tanks. Now, I mean, I'm including the feeder fish and stuff like that too, which, I mean, no matter how hard you try, like, you got 200 minnows in the equivalent of a 20-gallon space or whatever. Like, you try your hardest, but there's not much you can do about that.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks pulling out dead fish, and especially when you got other like fish tubers and stuff with you. Like, Lady Diane came up to the store on Saturday, and I'm showing her the tanks and talking about different stuff or whatever, and there's a couple dead fish in the tanks at that time, and I'm just like, oh man, please don't judge us for the dead fish that are in there, because it's like they just die sometimes, no matter what you do. How's the 40 looking? The 40 is still kind of looking the same for now. I'm gonna turn the light back off after the stream is over, because I've been trying to get rid of all the blackbeard algae. I'm not so worried about the stuff that's on the big piece of wood, because I'm just gonna pull that out. But I'm trying to get rid of the stuff that's on the most of the plants, at least, so that I can reuse the plants when I rescape it. And but yeah, I got a really awesome plan for it. I'm really excited to get started. I was gonna do it, yesterday or today, but I didn't want to do it when there's all this blackbeard algae and stuff still on the plants. So over the next week or so, I'm gonna be, getting rid of all the blackbeard algae, and then I'm gonna redo it. I'm still soaking all the driftwood and stuff too, trying to make sure there's no funguses or anything that grow. I don't want any of that when I start the rescape and everything. And I got some additional substrate. I got some fluorite red to mix in with the Eco Complete and the little bit of white sand that's in there, and I'm just gonna mix it all up and do all that. So that's gonna be like the nutrient layer, and then I got a natural sand that I'm gonna at least make the foreground and like the center area and stuff the natural sand, and the two sides will be just these big mounds with the wood coming out from it and a bunch of plants and stuff, and it's gonna look really awesome. I'm not gonna come up with a name for it until I'm finished with it and it's actually all scaped, because what I have kind of envisioned in my head might not be what I end up with when I actually get in there with all the driftwood and stuff. So we'll see what happens. I'm really excited to get going with it. It's all right, Diego. We all have days with bad internet issues and stuff like that. Yeah, I've never used Seachem fluoride as a substrate before. This will be my first time trying it out, and I wanted to make sure I got the fluorite red because of the additional benefits of the red clay with the plants, and then just having a little bit of a different coloration mixed in with the black and the kind of dark reds of the Eco Complete and the little bit of white sand. Like, it should make a really nice looking mix. It's kind of a natural look to where it'll kind of blend in with the dragon stone that's already in there. And then I did get some additional pieces of dragon stone too. So, it's got some darks, some reds and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that, and, then the natural sand is gonna, just really stand out and look better. And I don't think I mentioned it all this entire time. Oh no, maybe I did. That I was looking back through my, images and like my memories that pop up on my Google Photos and stuff. And it was 1 year ago on July 26th that I finished the scape on this tank and filled it up. I didn't add any fish yet, but at that time it was all full of water and like with the plants. And man, like if I could, I'm gonna try and include that image on the video that I make of the rescape, because it's gonna be, it's gonna start. I'm not gonna get into exactly how I'm gonna do the video because I'm gonna want you guys to watch it and just let it be what it is. But the whole foreground and everything was just like solid white. There was barely any dwarf sage and all that stuff in there. And I started with such minimal plants when you see what this thing looks like now. So I'm really excited to make this video and get that. It is kind of a carpet. Wait, is what carpet? Oh, the floor in my room? Yeah, it's carpet. Carpet. There's my feet. It's my whole house is carpet basically, and I thought about, pulling up the carpet but I don't want to do that. And I don't have a basement, otherwise, everything would be in the basement. But yeah, when I escaped this tank a little over a year ago, like, I put a lot of effort into it, and I took my time with it, and I had a lot of fun creating the design and trying to think about how the tank was going to evolve in different ways. And a lot of the original plants that I put in here are no longer even in here. A lot of the red plants, the Alternanthera reniki and stuff like that, they just didn't do very well, and or other plants just fought for the nutrients more. And the tank started kind of, man, it was doing so well at first. Like, I had water hyacinth and all that stuff in there, and it was really, really cool. And then I ordered some Aquarium Co-op Easy Green, and I added some Easy Green instead of the Flourish XL from Seachem that I was adding before. And everything just kind of started falling apart to a point. And I was able to recover, but that's what made me, like, a lot of my plants melted when I added the Easy Green versus the Flourish Excel. The change in the fertilizers, the just the overall balance of everything just got messed up. And at first I blamed the Easy Green. I straight up was like on one of Corey's live streams, and I'm just like, hey dude, my beta sorority was doing fantastic, and then I added some of your Easy Green and all my plants melted. Like, what's up with that? And he just, like, avoided it, or didn't see it, or at least acted like he didn't see it. I don't know. But I mean, in all, like, it definitely wasn't the fault of the Easy Green, because I've continued to use it in several tanks and my plants are doing fantastic. It was just the overall change of everything from a Flourish Excel, which is a very, very weak fertilizer that's actually more of like a anti-algae versus a fertilizer in itself, than turning into like an actual fertilizer, that's not like an anti-algae. Yeah, the Carib Sea sand is worth the money for sure. I really love the colors. I was gonna go with more of like a darker. They have like a kind of more like a darker brown sort of color versus that lighter kind of pink tan color that I picked, but I like the light color. And that's actually the same color that I used in this tank here. And I mean, you can see that it's a very nice colored sand. Yeah, I don't care much about getting certain substrates to buffer the water unless it's needed, you know? Like, the only tank that I have that has a special sort of substrate is actually my brackish tank right here, um, that has a crushed coral and crushed aragonite uh, substrate. And I just did that because, it's kind of supposed to simulate, a salt to fresh water sort of environment. So I figured that's kind of probably the sort of sand sort of thing that you'd find in a brackish area. And it helps kind of, buffer that pH and hold it at that 8.2, which is very nice. Even though, I mean, the water comes out my tap around like 8.4 or something like that. But as it sits in my tanks, it kind of tends to drop more towards neutral. because we don't have an extravagant amount of potassium in our water. Our general hardness is pretty high. Like I think our TDS, I've never actually used a TDS meter here, but I would assume that our TDS, from what other people have said, is kind of close between like 4 to 500 or something like that. But the KH isn't very high. We have a pretty high amount of phosphates in our water and stuff like that. So that's why my Java fern does really well. But that's also why the blackbeard algae does very well. So it's kind of a battle. And yeah, there's been times that I've cut it with distilled water and stuff like that too. And that's actually what I do, believe it or not, for the brackish tank, is when I'm mixing the water and I'm getting the brackish water versus just like a fresh water, because I every once in a while you do just a fresh water change. I will like fill up my 4-gallon bucket like most of the way with tap water. Then I'll actually add a little bit of distilled water to dilute some of whatever's actually in my tap water some, because I don't actually know what's all in my tap water. And then I'll add some aquarium salts and marine salts to bring it up to the desired salinity. Tannins do not lower pH. They can indirectly. Well, actually, no, it's not the tannins itself. It's the stuff that releases the tannins that kind of does it indirectly, because it absorbs like the decaying catappa leaves and the wood and stuff like that. They absorb the KH from the water, which then drops the pH. It doesn't directly drop the pH per se. And that's kind of the same thing with some of those substrates too, is they kind of leach ammonia to a point, which kind of is the same thing as having an excessive amount of waste in your tank, which does like old tank syndrome, causes your pH to crash. So it's kind of related, the ammonia leaching causes your bacteria to work overload, which causes your potassium and other stuff to go away, and you lose your KH, and then your pH crashes. Carbon helps with phosphates. Okay. I mean, I think they have the Aqueon like phosphate sponge or whatever, the same way they have the ammonia sponge that you can use in the Aqueon filters, or if you get the bigger sponge, you can cut it and use it in pretty much any filter. And maybe I'll try using that, one of these days. Just see if it does anything. I don't know. Well, I'm going to go for probably about 15 more minutes. Because I know there's some other streams coming around a little later tonight, and I gotta, do a little bit more shopping and get myself some dinner and stuff like that before everything starts rolling around in the Monday night streams. Lots of awesome stuff coming up tonight, guys. Like, definitely check out, Fishy Biz's stream tonight. Rico Stan is going to be the guest with Fishy Biz, and before Fishy Biz, Rico Stan will be streaming, and he will have Fishy Biz as a guest with him. So good stuff coming up tonight. You know, you're going to learn a lot about Rico Stan, learn a lot about Fishy Biz, and we're going to learn from each other. It's going to be a very, very interesting night. And then I believe we got Backwards Fish Room is going to be doing a late night stream. Hasif Moore, HSIF MOOR. It's fish room spelled backwards, but it's actually room fish when you go to the entire name. But I don't know. That's just me. Mob Guppy tonight before Rico Stan. I forgot about Mob Guppy. I don't think I'm subscribed to Mob Guppy. I gotta fix that. Zen or anybody else that I have as a mod, if we could get somebody to kind of share some channels and stuff, you know, share some links, that'd be great. I don't actually ask my mods to do much, but you know, I do have quite a bit of you, so let's get some links shared for everybody so that you know we can make sure everybody's subscribed to each other. I still eventually want to get a 125 to replace that 55-gallon tank that I have in my living room with those African cichlids in it so that I can bring that 55 into this room and basically make my own stand for this 55 and the other 55 to do like an over under stand. Then I'll have more room to grow out my baby African cichlids. And I still got, so I got those 3 other 10-gallon tanks in the other room too that I'm going to eventually get set up. And yeah, everyone kind of left me, but that's okay. We all got stuff to do. I'll be here for just, you know, about 10, 15 more minutes. So it's all right, Bateson. But yeah, I got those 3 other 10-gallon tanks. One that has the convict in it, one that has the driftwood soaking in it and stuff, and then one that's just empty right now. So I'm going to get it like a stand built or something. Maybe buy a stand for a 40-gallon breeder or something, because I think a 40-gallon breeder is the same footprint as, or at least close to the same footprint as 3 10-gallons that are side by side. So we will probably going to do that and get those 10 gallons into this room as well. And I'm not quite sure exactly where I'm going to put them. It's going to involve some rearranging, obviously, because you got that area kind of full as that is. That 29-gallon is pretty much in a good spot. There's my 40-gallon with the 20 long underneath it, you know, where Stephen P was talking about. He's got the 29. But yeah, maybe what I could do is, well, that guy's pretty much in a spot where he is. I got this closet here because this is technically a bedroom, and this closet just kind of ruins wall space. Maybe I could slide this 20 long over a little bit more, and then I could fit that here, and then I could put all the 10 gallons there. Or just replace this whole stand, because that's a 10-gallon as well. Then I could put like 2 10s and then 2 more 10s. Just post everybody's then. If they're in chat, post their link, and make sure to post, like, you know, the Fishy Biz and the Rico Stand streams and stuff that I mentioned. But yeah. 6 tanks in my closet. I mean, I've thought about that because, I mean, yeah, extra fish boxes and stuff. But I've thought about like putting some tanks in here because it is a pretty decent sized closet. I could fill it up with nano tanks. You know, that's not a bad idea. I wonder. I don't think this table could fit in there, but I could make like a cut. I've thought about just putting some tanks on this thing, but I really have no idea how strong that like metal shelf thing really is with this support and all that. It just I just don't want to put tanks on top of there, but maybe I could take that down and I could build like a custom rack sort of thing in here and turn this into like a nano nook. And then when I have all my nano tanks in there, I could you know, have that space and I could have more space for bigger tanks. Yeah. I would definitely not trust that. No, I don't think this table would fit because I think I actually tried to wedge the table in there. Um, and I do have like a dresser that I measured out and would try and wedge in there, but just the length of the table itself could technically fit in the closet, but there's no way to actually get the table into the closet because the door is actually thinner than the overall closet space, and then since it's not deep enough you can't like wedge it in there. So yeah, there's no way to actually get it in there. I'd have to like build the rack inside the closet. Exactly, I'm not going to use those shelves. No. But yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing is building a rack inside the closet for nano tanks, and then I'll have more room out here for big tanks. I want to get some nice big tanks. I really love the 40 breeders. They're such great tanks. I want to get more of those. Get some 75s. I really wish I had the wall space for like a massive tank. I could, if I took like all those tanks away from that wall, I could probably fit like a 240 or something up against that wall. But then I wouldn't have all those tanks. I'd have to set up like a whole nother fish room, which I could do. But I'm going to need a bigger house so I can have more tanks. That's what I really need. I need a bigger house for more tanks. Ugh. I really like this aquascape. That's awesome, Ian. I'm pretty sure the 72s are probably a bow front. But yeah, I'm probably gonna take a little bit of the Java Fern out of this tank to add into the Rescape as well, just to add a little bit more Java Fern. But I mean, I do kind of sell this this Java fern, out of here because it grows in really well. If anybody was, interested in getting some Java fern, you can always, reach out to me on my email. Go ahead and post it in chat. Though you can access my email from my channel. Yeah, I personally would rather have more smaller tanks than just one big massive tank. But I do still want to get a really big tank just so I can have a really nice big African cichlid tank. I think I'll be happy with a 125. But once I get a 125, I'm going to want something even bigger for sure. I think I would actually rather get like a 150 or a 180. I don't think I really need a 180, but a 150 would be nice. Because it's just a little bit wider than the 125. I don't necessarily need a super deep tank like a 180, but the 150 has a really nice thick footprint. But yeah, I sell the Java Fern and I sell the Amazon Frog Bit and stuff too. I'll just give you stuff, right out of my tanks or, out of that little uh, kiddie pool that I have in my backyard. You can reach out to me if you want. Big enough pond to get a red-tailed cat. She wants one so bad. I mean, man, it would be cool to have a fish that's the size of a puppy dog. No, I don't have any guppy grass. I haven't been able to find any guppy grass. I do. I'm currently kind of low on stock on Java moss, but I do sometimes sell Java moss as well when I get enough in. The Java moss that I was collecting up, I was working on trying to transition it into brackish so I could add it into my brackish tank, but now that it's reached like the full level of brackish within that cup, it's starting to turn brown and all that. So I I can't do anything with that. But yes, I do have Java moss that I'm working on getting more up for sale. It grows like crazy in my little 5-gallon tank out in my kitchen. So what I normally do is just trim a bunch off and then add it into the sump in the back. And then once I get enough into the sump, I'll, load it into a cup or whatever else. I'm trying to eventually order some more mosses because I really like mosses. I want to try and find some flame moss and some weeping moss. But I really just want to get my hands on a whole bunch of mosses. And whatever happened to Bottom Dweller Aquatics, I still don't really know exactly, and I haven't seen him come back at all since with any other name, as far as I know. I know he was gonna try and make a moss only tank, and that sounds really cool. And maybe I'll try and do that with one of those 10 gallons that I have. just make like a moss growing scape to both, raise shrimp in and sell moss out of. Yeah, Angus is totally MIA. And it's been a while. Like I thought by now he would have popped back up with something. But maybe he just got so mad at YouTube that he's just like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, Ian, we're not 100% sure what happened. I think somebody tried to hit him up on Facebook even, but I think Google actually deleted his account. It wasn't even all YouTube. It was Google for sure or something I don't really know. But anyway, guys, I'm at my 3-hour mark. It's been fun. I hope you all have a great day. Definitely check out all the streams later. I'll see you all there on Rico Stan and Fishy Biz and all that. So have a great night, great day, depending on where you are in the world. And I'll see you next time.